Welcome to the Clash Masters powered by Rush.gg. I'm Carbon Finn here with Lady B, and we will be breaking down these matches here in the qualifiers. Lady B, how are you doing here today?
Oh, I'm so excited. We've got some incredible matches lined up today, and we've got a new partial format to talk about, and of course, the format that we have in general for our qualifiers. So super exciting wars that we have more to cover today, and we'll get to talk over that in just a little bit. But why don't we talk a little bit more about the qualifier format that we have?
Absolutely. The qualifier format this season for the Clash Masters, and the beautiful thing, it is the Golden Edition. Yes, indeed. We have the 3 weeks of competition that you've seen before, and the single eliminations, because what happens is, through these qualifiers, what you want to do is earn points. And once you earn enough points through the 3 weeks of competition, the top 4 teams from that will automatically make the playoffs. But things have now changed, Lady B, where if you are now or you are the top 5 through 8, you will then have a chance to make it to the next stage of the play-in stage, because the last chance qualifiers have changed, and there will be a 2-stage format for that, which is there will be a double elimination in the last chance qualifiers, and then you will try to earn your way into a play-in stage, and then you'll just win that war and you're in, which is a beautiful system, and I know the players are going to love that.
Yeah, what I think is really cool about this one is those 5th through 8 teams actually get to make their schoolyard pick selections based on where they stand. So you can choose who your opponent's going to be through that bracket round once they get the win. So this could really change the bar quite a bit. So a lot of exciting changes in this new Golden Edition that is sponsored by Rush.gg. And of course, we have an awesome prize pool in store this year as well. So let's take a look, because with the qualifiers, there's a separate amount of money put aside. We have first place walking away with $2,500, second with $1,500, third $800, and fourth $600. But for the last chance qualifiers, there's a total of $4,000. We've got first through fourth walking away with $500, and then 5th through 8th positions will walk away with $250 each. So those are those play-in winners right there. So a lot of exciting stuff to come with our new format, and with the prize pools that we have coming into this. And let's talk a little bit more about the playoff as well, because there are more prizes in store. And we've been talking about this Golden Edition, Carbon. So why don't you explain a little bit more about this?
Yeah, you see that golden ticket on the screen? Well, that means that if you come in first place overall in the Clash Masters, you are going to be getting that golden ticket to play on the main stage and at the finals for the Clash of Clans World Final for 2022. Cannot wait for that, and it's just incredible. The prize pool has completely stepped up for this season for every single stage of the competition. And you know, all the players are focused on this here in the Clash Masters, which is powered by Rush.gg, which is absolutely incredible to see all these teams and are going to be competing. And while I talk about the teams, Lady B, we have a bracket that is ready to be underway.
Oh, this bracket is looking good. So starting off our first match, we have VN Tompanai versus Cutie Fen. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is this part of the Sword Assassin team? Am I correct? And I'm not sure about that, but I've seen them around. And I'm wondering if that's part of the same team, which we've seen great work coming from. But we have the Black Magic versus Vengeful Noobs. Queen Walker's Stephanie, who I know is a fan favorite, going up against Mini Brothers. And then we've got Indonesia, who's been doing phenomenal work going up against Vanguard Gaming. So a pretty interesting matchup that we do have of some newcomers, some new faces getting into the mix. And they're going to start getting to earn their points to make it into those playoffs. And it starts here in this first qualifying round. But let's take a look at the roster for our first matchup, VN Tompanai versus Cutie Fen, Carbon.
Yeah, with VN Tompanai, we have a lot of well-known faces. We have Amuelen, Riga Torres, Hawk, we have Tano COC, and then Michuo. But Cutie Fen, we have some players as well.
Yeah, Cutie Fan has Kelvin, CF Yang, CF Kyle, CF Wee, and CF Juno. So I'm excited to see what these guys are going to bring against the VN Tompanai team, who has been doing some phenomenal work. They seem to be a powerhouse this year, but we've got a lot of dark horses in the mix lately, and they seem to be rising to the occasion with so much money on the line. And again, $50,000 for this golden edition
Wow.
series. So this is a lot that is riding on it, and of course split up between the qualifiers and the playoffs.
Absolutely. And the beautiful thing about this is that all these teams that are going to have a chance to try to get that golden ticket. And if you saw that bracket and you didn't see your favorite teams, well, there's a lot of the competition, but the attacks are about to be underway. So I think it's ready to jump into the very first attack. And here we go with Riga Torres leading it off, coming in with that queen charge towards the bottom side. And we're seeing the Rocket Loons coming out, and he does freeze, but he misses, which just forces that queen ability right there.
Oh, that is never what you want to see in your queen charge. These queen abilities need to be held on deeper inside the base, particularly because he's got to get all the way to that town hall, working this queen through, or at least make her path coming in to get a little bit deeper. We do have the royal champ working along, trying to take some heat off the queen, but he's relying on the rages only now to keep her alive, and might even need to use this invisibility spell, which he would have reserved ideally for that royal champion. King is lining up the funnel, and it looks like we are moving along nicely, but let's see if he can get the value that he wanted out of this. Royal Champ doing some great work cleaning this up, and it looks like it is back on focus, perhaps.
Yeah, with that queen going to grab that clan castle, eventually make her way off to the left side. We do have that tunnel all the way in the middle of this base, so he's still going to have to find a plan to help take that down, but he has the stone slammer that he could try to path in towards the core, but where's this queen going?
Ooh.
She's going for the, oh, she's going to go walk over it for the shot, but that's not the case. Makes her invisible, but remember, he doesn't have the queen ability, so he rages just to try to keep this queen alive now, but the healers are getting hit.
Oh, he's going to have to lollo through this core of the base. Look at that opening in the scatter shot. The queen took that walk around, which is really unfortunate because she had the opportunity to work her way through. And you almost wonder if the invisibility spell could have redirected her, but this is tough. He's got, the Stone Slammer opening up. Smart move, but is a Drag Rider going to get it?
Wait.
Scatter shot goes down, but the Loons, they get a carbon.
The tornado trap actually saved Riga Torres, pulled those balloons back into the town hall. But the enemy Raw champion is still up, hitting away at his Grand Warden. And these balloons are trying to get a little bit more value, but they have almost no health. And unless that Raw champion goes down, the Archer Tower, the minions, and we have the back end Scattershot still up with a wizard. But this is going to be super close. The RC looks like she might just stay alive and help defend this base.
Yeah, that RC doing some extra work, but 11 seconds is not enough time. Plus the scatter shot up in the Archer Tower and the storages would not be enough. But I got to say, this is an amazing recovery coming in from Riga Torres, considering what went so wrong in his plan initially. That queen walking in the wrong direction, having to force that ability too early. Those are two big mistakes that he turned into a beautiful percentage that could turn around very nicely for the team there. 96% 2-star is nothing that you can be ashamed of, knowing that you have a pretty strong team that could potentially defend still as well.
Yeah, absolutely. These teams have made it to this stage of the competition, meaning any one of them has a chance to win in any one of these wars. So you have to be focused here today. And Riga Torres coming in with his classic Lalo, especially those queen charges. That's what they really love to do over at VN Tompanai. So they know what they're doing. And can we see QDFN with the defenses on their side, but we're coming in with the Grand Warden walk to start with a couple Super Witches. We always have to keep in mind that time when you're using Super Witches. So he uses the lightning spell near where he starts the Warden, and depends on, does he want to come in from the Eagle Artillery to the top side, because you definitely don't want to have that Eagle hitting your troops and ending on it. And it looks like he's doing just that and finally deploying these main troops within 30 seconds of the raid, which should help on time.
Yeah, leaving that scatter shot open, but that can be easily resolved and picked off by the Royal Champion on the opposite side. And as you mentioned, time is a huge factor. So with the Warden taking up so much of it, the Zap Break does help quite a bit because these Super Witches are very slow. We've got the Rocket Loons coming out again, so he's got to keep his eye on this. Loons coming in to help with some of the defenses, actually distracting along with the Giant, which is going to help. But the one thing we want to watch is the Warden timing on this one. We don't want to burn through it too quickly. We want it coming through a little bit deeper inside the core of the base to help protect those healers coming in. And here we go with the log launcher, opening up the core, leading straight to the town hall with a back end jump.
It is opening all the way straight through. It's looking pretty good, unless... Yep, okay, so the wall was just open there, so he should continue wake. Oh, the Queen ability goes off to try to take out the enemy Queen, and the Warden ability was forced because he stepped in to get hit by the Air Expo and the single target Inferno.
Yeah, so the King ideally was meant to come in to go for that scatter shot, but look at him sneaking those Loons in to actually take it down. This is perfect. While the King's taking the focus, the Loon is right there in the safe zone taking it on. As we expected, Royal Champ coming in for that 3 o'clock scatter shot. We are right there with the Ice Golems trying to protect, one getting flung, but does hold off the radius for the Super Witch to try and take down the Town Hall. And honestly, with the healers actually coming outside of range, this is perfect. Queen, oh my goodness, she's gonna save it. Saves a raid, comes through. But 56 seconds, a rage and a freeze? Carvin, he's looking in mighty fine shape here.
Look at the strength of this attack with that Queen forcing her ability, an early Warden ability as well, was able to continue his pathing all the way to the town hall, and then the jump spell, which he probably was thinking that he wanted to take a safe jump spell to jump towards the town hall compartment if that log launcher didn't open. And we have the first 3-star from Zuo. What a beautiful attack right there with the Super Witches. You have to be worried about time fails when you come in with the Super Witch attack because they are so slow. That's why he started the main phase of the attack within 30 seconds, and he had so many spells left. An absolutely beautiful hit there.
Yeah, a lot of times when we see these super smash attacks, and even the Super Witches, you'll see players take on things like scatter shots where you would have the flanking damage coming in, but because it was so spread far away, that was such a smart move to actually take shallow value from the Warden and speed that along the way he did and send in the Royal Champ from that compartment. So really smart time management coming in from Cutie Fen. And they've got the lead here, but we've got to see what VN Tompanai is going to be bringing to the table defensively and also with their attacks coming through. They've got an incredible lineup. They've got a very strong team this year, and we have seen them doing incredible work. But I think the biggest problem for a team like VN Tompanai is you see them so frequently. So this gives a huge advantage to other teams that we don't often get to see because they know their attack style. They know how to defend against them, and they know what to expect. And VN Tompanai doesn't really know what to expect necessarily in this situation. So it does make it harder for them to try and figure out what type of basis they're coming at and what they should be bringing to defend. But so far, getting to see a Super Witch start like that was beautiful.
It was indeed. And we know VN Tompanai to be Lalo attackers, and they are sticking to it. They love themselves bringing the balloons and finding a red air bomb right on the outside, sending a few balloons into the mortar and archer tower to help set up a bit of a funnel, pulling a Seeking Air Mine. That Tesla and Seeking Air Mine is helping prevent that mortar from going down. So it's actually brilliant in terms of base design, which can help with pathing, especially for this King, to maybe not go into the scatter shot. And let's see if he's able to use these balloons to help take that down so the King can continue his way in and get that value.
Ooh. Yeah, looks like he's got
There
it.
it is.
Even with a
Yes.
scatter shot there, King's got the opportunity to get in. Queen making her way to the town hall. Skelly's were a good choice there, especially because of the Tesla. It's a great distraction without having to bring in extra troop space. You know, using that just small spell value combination can make a huge difference. But hold on, the Queen
Oh,
struggling. She does get the town hall down. Super minions are not in the poison, and he's going to have to try and contend with this, and at
yep.
least hope that we have the Electro Owl come in and knock them down. But I do see the poison coming in, slowing them as the King works his way through.
Wow, he dropped a lot of balloons early there. That they get one shot from the Eagle Artillery pathing his way through, but one super minion stays up here. Get ready for a Warden Eternal Tome through this core. Yes, beautiful. He had to do it before the balloons were gonna get hasted out of that ability.
Yeah, and also was able to get them through, soaking up some traps. Even, not quite here. But he got the spread out, and what he has coming in, there's no more spell support for the scatter shot, and this is a huge splash area between the Wizard Tower,
Yeah.
the scatter shot. Loons are going down fast, and this is going to be another defense coming in for
Wow.
Cutie Fen. As we mentioned, you know, these teams, they're seeing teams like Tom and I
Yeah.
all the time. We've got a Drag Rider and a Dream, but Carbon Fin, that's a
Yeah.
tall order considering what remains on the board here and the amount of time left, plus storages. Those are so hard to get through, and Drag Rider is just going to go down, unfortunately, to that Archer Tower.
Great try from El Tano here of VN Tompanine, but it's going to be a defense here from Zuo of Cutie Fen. And the big thing is, this is single elimination. You lose, you are out of the first week here because there is the 3 weeks of competition that you'll be trying to get points. And if you earn enough points, you can make it to the playoffs and then try to have your shot to compete for that golden ticket. So just because you lose here doesn't mean you're completely out of the running overall in the Clash Masters. There's plenty of weeks here of so many wars. It's going to be absolutely incredible. We're going to see amazing teams compete and fight for that. But El Tano coming in with an 85% 2-star. And if Kifen comes in with a 3-star, they are going to be in a healthy lead here.
Oh, they certainly will. This is going to be huge for them. What was that, an 85% 2-star that we saw come in? I mean, when you hit that 96 like we saw from Rigo, you can sit back comfortably knowing that it puts a little more pressure on any slip-ups. But once you get into that 80% range, it does drop quite a bit. And to have two back-to-back defenses could be a huge factor right now in VN Tompanai's mind. And because this is single elimination, this puts them in a tough spot. But you did mention there are more opportunities. It's all about the point system as they come through here. And what I love is we're going to have this new last chance qualifiers play-ins section with the 5th and 8th positions actually getting to do that schoolyard pick for who gets through in the bracket. That's going to be so exciting.
That's the one thing that is going to make storylines. For anyone that's wondering what Lady B means by making picks, well, essentially, you get to pick your opponent. So the team number, whoever comes in 5th, says, hey, you know, I'm going to pick you. And whoever wins that match, you make it to the playoffs. So it's going to be so much fun to see how that goes down. And wait a second, we got a personal break. Okay, you know, sometimes let's just have a one-on-one conversation with the admin who is running the account. You know, there's a personal break. You can't be on Clash of Clans. We know you love Clash of Clans. You've been on for so many hours. You're just sometimes, you know, it's just too much is going on here. But we'll be getting right back into the attack here very soon. So don't worry about that. But it's just crazy to think that you could pick your opponent at that stage, and it's really going to be just head-to-head, and whoever gets picked by team number 5, in their mind, they're going to be like, wait, you picked us because you think we might be the worst or the easiest team to make it to the playoffs? Oh, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, but like, you know, do you go that rude, or do you actually like own up to it and you say, I want the top team because I want to...
No, I would definitely not be picking a team like Strut. No. I would be picking the team that whoever's easiest to take on, I'm taking them on. you know? So
Yeah,
that's
but
definitely my way.
do you lose street cred that way? That's the thing. You know, what is the general public going to say? Like, oh, they just picked the easiest team to get through there. So it's a double-edged sword on this one. You can go the easy route, but
you know, you got the 5th place, right? So you got the points. So you get you have the choice. So that's the really benefit of being 5th. Granted, you want to be 4th to make it into the playoffs at that point, but if you're 5th, you do have that choice of picking who you would want to face in terms of who made it from the bracket stage of trying to qualify that way. So it's just going to be amazing. And I love that format, and it's so much better than the previous one to really add to the storyline where you could talk about that. And plus the teams can kind of like go head to head, or they kind of can talk it out essentially, where maybe if they know a little bit beforehand, and it's a little Twitter feud kind of leading up to the war to add to the storyline, because a lot of these teams have faced each other many times. So that's just going to add to it. It's going to be amazing.
I think my question for you is, you know, what would you do if you had the opportunity to face a team that you know, like, you know, kind of how they score, how they play, versus a team that you really don't know, that you don't get to see these matches of, that dark horse like we're talking about? What would you do in that situation? Are you going to go for the unknown, or are you going to go for the devil that you know?
Well, if it's the team that I know, like Strut, I'm going to be picking the other team every single time. But I mean, like, it really comes down to these players probably almost know all the teams that should be making the stage at this point. And if there are teams that don't and are not well known, that's amazing to see. And I think that might just be hard to pick. So they might pick some other teams that they maybe know they could predict what the attacks would be. So maybe that's the choice, because they're obviously going to be involving their base builders that are going to be helping build bases. So they're going to be involved in the decision making too, which a lot of times we don't give too much credit for, right? It's really all about the offensive side of the game with the 3 stars, with the defensive players, and that help build those bases really make a difference here in wars like this in the esports competition. So it's going to be really fun to see. Can't wait for that. But we have back here, and if we were to look at the previous, we're seeing on the right side with the stats, it's got 6 stars. So that means Kitty Fen did come in with that 3-star. Yes.
And it was actually Dark Fairies. It was Dark Fairies, so hopefully we can take a look at this later. We'll try and get that replay up because it was a 3-star, and this puts it with a 2-star lead. So Hawk has to step up here. Now, Hawk is one of the new additions, Carbon, aka Mammoth. A lot of players know him as, and he has been a force to be reckoned with, coming in with the Flame Flinger. We know the strength of this, especially in conjunction with the heroes, but he's also bringing in the Super Bowler Smash. But the biggest difference is we're seeing a lot of players now coming through these ring-style bases with it, where you have to hold off this Warden ability typically to help carry along, especially when you have these scatter shots to come through.
Oh, triple ice going right in the middle, going to be slowing him down as he's taking on this Town Hall. And there it is. Town Hall goes down, which keeps him from encountering the poison, which kind of can help a little bit. And he still has that King ability to use.
Yeah, that actually worked in their favor. Gets a nice spread, mostly around the poison bomb. Healers, I think, are just slightly out of range. With the Queen in there, it doesn't matter as long as those healers are raged up. So she's able to hold on to her ability, get out of there, and get that scatter shot taken down. We've got the Royal Champ really helping out with this one, coming in from that flank side, and Queen taking on a lot of incoming damage. But here comes the Valks trying to save the day. With the abilities left over, it looks like Hawk is in a great position to pull in that first 3-star for V and Tompanai. But we've got to keep an eye on the clock because there's a lot of walls to still break through for that Queen.
There is quite a bit of defenses also at the bottom side, but he has his Royal Champion ability, and the healers have transferred off. Ooh. Hey, Queen, what do you go for that wall? We know we don't have a Queen wall breaker skin coming. We have a miner, so maybe eventually we could grab the miner. What if the Queen could go under the wall instead of having it hit some walls, you know? But there's the RC ability, and it looks like Hawk will be getting this if he's got the time. And I think he just will be able to, because the RC is perfectly on the other side to help clean up this base.
Yeah, taking down the storages, getting the necessary evils out of the way, and with 13 seconds to spare, Mammoth comes in for his team where needed, but they are still situated pretty far behind at this point. They had the 2-star disadvantage. If they can hold a defense, they can try and start pushing their way back and turn this storyline around for them. So, you know, it was Dark Fairies who came in with a 3-star, and Hawk just said, no, we're not letting this happen again. So stepped up to the plate, got it done. And maybe at some point we'll get to see that 3-star replay. I'd love to see what Cutie Fen is doing. So at the end, we will get to see that and take a look at exactly what happened, because these guys are coming in. I mean, this is super, super strong and impressive to see from a team that we don't know much of. But this has been the great thing, is to see new teams rising and actually taking on the old legends.
Yeah, indeed. And the one thing that I'm surprised we haven't seen yet is the Super Dragons, unless that the attack that we missed was Super Dragons. But we do know that they are going to be receiving a bit of a nerf, including some others like the Unicorn, because the Unicorn's healing speed is going to be going down. The Builder repair speed is going to be going up. Seeking Air Mine, Air Defense, that's getting more damage, and that's going to be getting more HP. So really, the Dragon kind of spam meta is going to get heavily affected by the balance changes that will be coming in the future. So, and the question is, are some of the players that are going to be trying to use it at this point? And then once that does take effect, and obviously, will they still be using that attack come either the next week or the week after? But we have Yang coming in, and we have the Log Launcher opening up that core. The base is going to continue. The World Champion's ability has been forced, but he's going to be coming in with a Lalo after the fact. And we have the Queen continuing her path towards this Town Hall, which the funnel looks to have set. So the Queen should, I say should, we'll see if she actually wants to maybe path her way in.
She's got the funnel set up, and I love these style attacks. We're seeing them a lot more when you see the Infernos in the core of the base, and these pushes where you can work that Queen, weave her in and out from the outside to the Town Hall side. You can use the Log Launcher, get your Yetis in the core of the base to clear it out, use the Ward and the King to provide that power and tank, and bring in the Royal Champ for that added support. And as you mentioned, it's all about taking on the outside defenses here, but the Queen needs to survive to help out, because we only had 18 loons to come along with this one. Healers have suffered quite a bit, but the Queen is keeping them out of range, shaking on that Town Hall, and preserving the ability. There is a lot of spell support left over on this, and it's all about using it for these loons to give the assist. But Carbon, look at how much time is left over on this Lalo. Yang is absolutely hammering down, just the way we've seen Cutie Fen coming in with this.
Absolutely beautiful attack, and I've been seeing this attack lately quite a bit, and it's really strong where you're doing a Queen charge and sending the King and Warden together behind a Log Launcher to get some incredible value, and then a cleanup Lalo. Yes, a clean up Lalo on the edge of a base where the Queen just gets some incredible value, and this really helps take down the core of the bases where you're using the Yetis from the clan castle to help clear the core. It's really strong, but also super risky, because you're taking all the risk where you're going to be ending on the Town Hall potentially with your Queen or that Lalo without the Grand Warden. So it is a really strong attack, but also a risky one as well.
It certainly is, but it does show the power of the heroes within the situation. And I know a lot of players, with the nerf that we're seeing coming in for things like Super Dragons, are also worried about the nerfing to Lalo. But the power that we still have with the heroes does come into play. And I think what's going to be interesting to see is the effect with the Unicorn, how much that's going to affect with the Queen, you know, just in general, with those hero dive Queens, where you're just relying on the Unicorn to help get some certain value. I mean, the Queen charges might not change quite so much, but Lalo is definitely really strong in the current meta. I know that during many wars we've covered, we've seen a lot of players saying, where's ground? So maybe with some of the changes, we will get to see a little bit more ground. But today we've definitely seen it as well with the Super Witches, the Super Bowler Smash. I mean, a lot of it today, which is very nice to see.
We have indeed, but the one thing I'm going to be interested is what Cynthi's reaction is going to be when he does Skelly Donuts, because those builder huts will be repairing faster. Meaning, will he be able to get that same value with the rage of Skelly's bats to help take down, like, the clan castle, per se, or even a town hall, because they repair faster? So that's going to be very interesting, so how that affects players that do that type of attack, because that is a very strong attack that we've seen quite a bit, but it's not used by every single player because it is a very difficult attack to execute. But we're seeing a freeze rage queen ability. Oh no, for Machuo.
This is unfortunate to burn through those abilities again. Unfortunately, coming in with this, we do have the super minions under control, though. Yet he's still getting some good work, but he's got to wrap this queen around coming through the base. We've already sent in that Yeti blimp, but we need to find a way to get inside, take on this town hall. So we're setting up the course of the king to work his way through. And of course, you see this opening, the small narrow opening. We've got to funnel it up right. So Royal Champ could really help out with this as the king provides a tank to force that queen into the core of the base.
And the queen is doing just that, but keep in mind that there is no queen ability. So if she goes down, she can't try to save this town hall. With that king ability going off, trying to help take down the enemy royal champion and the king at this point, this queen looks like she's going to be trying to path her way in towards the town hall with a balloon pulling a seeking air mine, and he's got another rage, 2 rages actually, to try to keep this queen going with an invisibility, which goes on to the Inferno to force her to the town hall.
Ooh, was that a big mistake? We got to get the freeze down.
There it is.
Ooh, there we go. Oh, taking off some of that heat from the queen and is able to save it. Smart move on the invisibility spell, because there was some risk of the queen walking and not going in. And this is all about repairing, getting that 3-star, because they are falling behind. But again, we talk about these cleanup Lalos, and when you see these impressive charges with the assist of the heroes, this is essentially what he's doing. Same sort of focus, but rather than using a log launcher, charging that queen along to get the job done.
I mean, there is no way you can fail an attack after that value of a queen charge, unless he finds all the red air bombs and seeking air mines with his balloons. But it's not going to matter there, as he finishes off, and this queen somehow stays up into this raid. Incredible job to stay focused and composed here for the 3-star from Machuo, and that's exactly what they need in this match here against QDFN to keep it, because if they are looking at the scoreboard, they were down by 2 because of the fails, but that 3-star is going to give them hope, because they need now their defenses to stand.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit of hope, but it's those defenses, like you said, that need to stand, and we have not seen it yet. QDFN is coming in with a ton of different strategies. They've got Tom and I's number, and unfortunately in the single elimination match, it doesn't make it easy. I feel like it adds a little bit more pressure and a little bit more frustration knowing that you're still relying on it. But there's different strategies in the way that these teams approach it. Sometimes they come in, they go for the bases that they know are going to be the easiest ones to pick up, because they want to build that motivation for the team and show the other team like that they have no fear, where they finish off with those final plans that, what is it, 4th and 5th position tend to have the most pressure on them, have the lower hit rates. I don't know if that's changed this year, but I know 4th used to be the tough one that they would leave for the plan that they didn't really know. So we'll see if that comes into play here for QDFN, and if we see Tom and I coming in with some triples towards a little bit more towards the back end.
Yeah, we've been seeing a handful of bases with those core town halls that can make it so that if you do fail, that it is a lower percentage 2-star. But here it is, Kyle with the first super dragon attack, coming in with the flame flinger to the bottom side. 6 super dragons to help send in, and wants this flame flinger potentially just get that town hall. But remember, that mortar will be able to outrange and hit it, so he has to find a way to keep that distracted before he tries to take that town hall down.
Yeah, and that's why we see a lot of the barbs coming into the mix. You know, it used to be we would caution everybody, be careful, you know, don't come in from those mortar sides. Oh, but Quakes it, here we go, freezes it up because he can't get the barbs inside to give the
Yeah.
distraction it needs, and he actually focuses on it. So this is going to give enough time to work through. So we are seeing players really adjusting to these mortars being one of the two defenses that can obviously outrange the Flame Flinger here. And a very nice approach at that. Once this opens up, he's going to get some huge value coming in from the 430 side of the base, clearing out those structures and helping these super drags that we talked about. We haven't seen any yet, finally coming through with Kyle's attack. And the perfect thing about this Carbon is that we are eliminating the poison bomb. They have a direct line through the core of the base, and Heroes can do a lot of work on the outer edge.
Absolutely, and the Town Hall has just been taken down by the Flame Flinger, continuing his way through with his Queen. Going to be making her way to the right side. A handful of Super Dragons have made their way over there and hanging on to that Royal Champion to find that perfect pathing into the base and maybe just send it where the Super Dragons went to try to path and go in for that middle multi-target Inferno. That would be some nice value there, or try to help take down an air defense. Remember, he's got a couple spells left. Single target Inferno locked onto the Owl and hanging on, finally deploys that Royal Champion, and this is looking absolutely crushed.
Yeah, I mean, Super Drags we know are on fire, no pun intended. These are very strong, which is why we're going to be seeing an upcoming nerf to them, which will be interesting to see how many teams suffer from this. We've seen a lot of amazing recoveries come through, but this is a clear-cut easy finish with that Royal Champ just launching the Seeking Shield unnecessarily, and we've got the swag, freeze, and invisibility to carry through. But what I actually love, you know, like we see a lot of these Super Drag attacks. What I love is the variety that we're getting to see out of it. Players having different styles of how they go about it, not only with their siege placements, positions, but and CC choices, but also how they go about the town hall, because we have players like Stodder who's going straight in for the town hall, where you would think don't do that, and he would still make it happen. So just really a ton of ways you can go about it, but we'll have to see what kind of changes come through and if it's going to be as easy to recover when things do go wrong.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. But the one thing that I always have been keeping my eye on lately over the last month, even to the last year, is that you have to be putting up almost perfect wars to be winning these competitions, to be winning these wars, these matches. Because I think back to like 2 years ago, back in Town Hall 12, that when in those competitions, those wars in these sports where we like never saw a perfect war coming in, and if we saw a perfect war, that was like blowing our mind. And now it's like, if you don't get that, it's going to be very difficult to be competing and winning at this stage, because we're even seeing wars that are perfect, and it's based on time. So that is really what it comes down to nowadays, that if you fail one attack, you almost think that your chances of winning that war could be over because it's that close.
Yeah, and I don't think Tomp and I saw this coming in from QD Fan, the potential of a perfect war. We do have the, where are we coming in with the core
Blizzard
of the base? Yeah, we've got the Blizz going for the Town Hall here. We've got the Warden working along as well. That was a nice drive coming through and clearing out a pretty big chunk. We do have the single that still stands, but the Queen can do a lot of cleanup, and moving this along with the Lalo, we've created a nice outer pathing to work along. This is going to be narrowed out quite a bit for Almualin.
I'm just wondering, where did the base go? Like, that's my question. It's like, I can't find it anymore. Is it somewhere? Is it like over? Is it the cloud? I can't find the space. He absolutely crushed the core, took that town hall down. That single target Inferno was literally just one tap away. A balloon can just have the death damage and help take that down. But that Warden is finally now just going down as the King and Queen are making their way through to help clear this right side. And then the Lalo will come without the Warden to try to close it out. But remember, if we have a whole Tesla farm, a completely trapped up section, those balloons will be taken out so quick. And he starts with the Lalo to the bottom side, closing in on the Eagle. But look at this, two multi-target Infernos still standing. We're looking like some tassels popping there, but there's probably going to be a bunch of traps. This could be a problem.
Ooh. Yeah, this is looking a bit rough. He wanted more out of that Royal Champ, who unfortunately was not able to get there in time. The Queen showing up just a tad bit too late, but he's got reinforcements coming in, and this is smart. Bringing in the extra loons from the back end where we have the splash damage of the Wizard Tower helps distract the focus. Queen can take on the... Wait. Can she take on the multi?
Queen.
No, she dies out to the defending king now. So the loons are going to fizzle out. That would have been part of the saving grace here, but still a lot to contend with. And this is the final defense coming in for QDFen.
Yeah.
They have been holding strong and could potentially come in with that perfect board that you were saying. You need to come in with these days.
Yeah, all they have to get is a 1-star or even just percentage, and they will be taking this war. And Vian Tompanai only getting 12 stars. That is the storyline for QDFen's defenses have absolutely been shining here, and they're looking to put up a perfect. They're trying to get 15 to 12 and really set the mark here in the first match of the Clash Masters, because the golden ticket is on the line at the end. This is the very first week of the competition, and if you get the points, you'll be able to get closer. Remember, if you win this bracket here, does not mean you're locked into the playoffs. It just means you'll get the most points to have a chance to try to qualify for the playoffs, but it will put you in a really good spot coming in first. So we'll definitely really have good odds of then making it into the playoffs, but still, we have so many matches to come throughout this whole season of the Clash Masters, because $10,000 at the very end for first place overall, and that golden ticket, quite a bit of money, plus so much more money throughout the different phases of the brackets, the play-in, and even this qualifiers here today that the teams are going to be competing for.
Yeah. So if you had to choose, Carbon, between the 10,000 or the golden ticket, which one would you actually go for?
Well, if you think about it, I mean, you have just getting the golden ticket also comes with kind of money anyways, because they're like, what? You get money for being in 8th place? So, I mean, it depends. Is it more than what that would be? But I mean, hey, getting both is a huge bonus for the teams. And I mean, either way, I would love to play on a main stage, like in front of the competition. That would be so incredible. The experience would be second to none. So, I mean, that's difficult, but they're going to get both, and they deserve it at that stage. With now QDFen trying to get one step closer towards that golden ticket, taking out the Lava Hound with this Queen charge.
Yeah, so beautiful Queen charge in. We saw the Queen's health coming down mighty fast with a scatter shot, but does keep those rages coming on the healers to keep her alive. And well, we've got the King working from the connecting compartment, and look at the pathing that he's creating now. He is launching this Queen across to the Town Hall, shaping up the position so the King works in for the Eagle, eliminating that damage. And again, we talk about the power of these heroes, and this is what we see essentially in effect. But notice this, we've got 11 loons and 2 drag riders to come in from the opposite quadrant up by that 12 o'clock side to take care of what the heroes don't actually work their way on.
And you got a couple healers transferring off to the King now, and needs, pulling a Sinking Airmine in the core. The single target in front locks onto this Queen, but there is your 1-star, and there is the victory for QDFen. But can he finish off with the 3-star? Still has the bit of a Lalo and it's not Lalo, but a Dragon Rider's coming to the top side and grabbing this multi-target in front. There's the Rage, there's the Wooden Billy. Queen's gonna secure the Town Hall, and this is looking good with even a Royal Champion ability still to use.
Yeah, this is looking solid, and you can see no Hound needed on this because we are talking about a small section of the base. The Warden ability more than enough to carry this through, and with the power of the Drag Riders able to take on those defenses nice and fast, and having that Royal Champ and Queen here to support is huge. So QDFen coming in against VN Tompanai with the perfect war. They are knocking them out of the single elimination round. They will move on to
Oh
tomorrow's
my goodness.
matches. Oh, I did not jinx it. I did not jinx it, Carbon.
No, it wasn't a jinx. He dropped the invisibility spell to slow the attack down. He dropped it onto the storage there, and it still got the triple. Didn't even need to worry about time right there. But yeah, that's what happens if you drop the invisibility spell on that final building. All the troops just stop. They don't do anything, and you wait it out. But what a performance here from QFed. And really, I'm going to have to get my notebook out, and I'm going to have to write down their name to be covering in future matches, because to take on Tomp and I in the very first war here in this Clash Masters, and getting a perfect war at that, just incredible stuff. And they are a name that you now have to really think about when you're taking on in this competition, and they deserve to be here, and they put on an unbelievable performance here.
Absolutely. And we are seeing them in certain competitions. So you heard it here from Carbon. You see that name, you see any wars coming in, watch those players. See what they're doing, learn from them. This is absolutely incredible to be able to go up against a team like V and Tomp and I with the confidence that they did, and so many different strategies. That is huge right now. And I think that's part of the hard part about defense is the versatility in the meta right now. You don't necessarily know. If you don't know your opponent, you don't know what to defend against. And when you have versatile attackers like we've seen from QDefend, that's what makes it that much more difficult. So a lot of teams now going to be eyeing them. They've got target on their back, and I think they might need to lay low if they want to keep some secrets behind them.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but I'm sure we can take a look at the bracket and see the we're getting word we're going to replay the last attack that we did miss due to, you know, the admins really loving to play Clash of Clans and having to be forced on that for personal break. And it was indeed the Super Dragon attack that we did miss, coming in with 6 of them. So this was the another attack that they did coming in with a triple as well, and using that flame fling off to the right side, and typical where you use the flame fling on one side, heroes on the other, and then send those super dragons right on in between.
Yeah, and when you send these super drags in between, like we said, there's different approaches about how you go through the base. With these ring style bases, we are seeing some players opting to use the super drags to go for the town hall. Stadra often goes with them from the outside edge, but you can do them on the inside. It is a little bit risky because it can depend on the timing of the warden ability and what's coming around. But you also want to get a good spread around that poison bomb. But you can see the patience he takes with the flame flinger to set up the pathing. Super drag attacks are very fast, so you can spend this time funneling, and it makes it a much easier approach. And I think that's one of the reasons why we see a lot of players enjoying it, because it's not as concise and super fast paced as other strategies.
Yeah, and the one thing I'm looking about this base is there were 3 ground expos, which only help with the decision to potentially use super dragons, unless the defender is baiting a super dragon attack where you maybe trap up a certain area and try to stop them, or maybe have some single target infernos. But it looks like that was not the case, and stopping here with a couple air skellies. Oh, look at that. Air skellies and a handful of traps that was in the core, but then that invisibility helping to use onto the super dragon to help try to make towards the town hall. But notice how you really only need towards about that 1 super dragon under rage, and it will help take that town hall down, and then you can use your royal champion and your heroes can move around the whole edge of the base.
Yeah, I mean, these style attacks, regardless of what's inside the base, is all about the heroes taking the outside value and taking on what is in the core with those super drags. More times than not, you are able to finish off the job, even if there's a single or a scatter shot on the outside position. But that Royal Champ helping to carry this through, and of course, still with a super drag left over. So beautiful attack here from Dark Fairies. This was the one that we missed previously that did lend to the 15-star war and advancement for QDefend. We will see them tomorrow, but the question is, who will we see them facing off against, Carbon?
Indeed. So let's go ahead and bring up that bracket and push them into that next round, getting that perfect war against Vian Tompanai. And we have the Black Magic versus Vengeful Noobs, where is going to be the very next match, and that will take on Cutie Fen in the semifinals, because we have so many matches here to come. And remember, there's all about points to try to earn your way into the playoffs. And then the match after the next will be Queen Walker Stephanie taking on Mini Brothers. Closing out today then will be Indonesia versus Vanguard Gaming.
Yeah, I am excited for these wars to come. But I think what I'm most excited about is seeing some new faces that have made it through. I mean, we had the qualifiers earlier this week, some amazing teams that I think many people know that got knocked out early on. Is it Black Magic? I've not heard of this team before, and they must be doing some Black Magic to make their way in. So we'll see what they have to bring to the table today. I would love to take a look at their roster and see who we have on these teams before we head into their matchup, because, you know, I mean, Vengeful Noobs I've been seeing a little bit more of, so not surprised to see them on the list. But this Black Magic team, you know, I don't know what to expect. This could be another situation. These dark horses that come in and just have variety attackers that can do just about anything, take on almost any base.
Yeah, because I remember when I saw the bracket of the teams, I had to do a double check. I was like, wait, is this... There's a lot of new names on this list that I just did not recognize. I was like, wait, where are all the well-known teams? Where do they go? Well, that means the competition is that fierce. And is it due to the meta? Is it due to just these teams really knowing each other? Well, it's probably a mix of everything in between. And it just really comes down to whichever team just does not make that one small mistake. You make it, you fail, and you can lose the war off perfect wars, because that's what it comes down to nowadays. This is another match that we're going to take a look at the rosters for this one here. And we have the Black Magic taking on Vengeful Noobs. And there is a lot of a couple well-known players, if you've seen on some of the sides, but a lot of new faces that we're going to be seeing here. To Sean, we have RKO Rabbi, we have Pablo Matababa, and then we have Tayan. But look at this, with the first attack coming in, that blimp helped take that town down, and Rabbi's looking to use the Mass Inferno Dragons and some skeleton spells in the mix to start this one off.
Yeah, so this can be a mighty speedy attack. I mean, we know super drags are big in meta right now, but we're seeing more and more of this, and it's still fast and efficient, especially when you can shape up the pathing, which he did a lovely job of. The poison bomb is eliminated. He's got an easy push coming in, and the heroes can pick up some nice big value from the outer perimeter, just the way you would do with any Hydra or super drag attack. But we've got to keep those skellies going, helping to defend the Inferno Drags, keep them protected, and an early warden ability, of course, as well. This is pushing the Loons deeper in to soak up some of those traps and also take on those defenses fast.
Yeah, trying to path his way straight into the core and using those skeleton spells to his advantage and really overwhelm the single target Infernos with the distraction. Moving his way through, keeping that multi-target Inferno frozen in the middle. And the King's got his ability. There's another freeze, and we have a handful of traps right into the middle of the space. But down goes the multi, and a rocket loon to the bottom side. And the World Champion's moving her way through with just 2 more spells to use to try to path his way through.
What I really like about this, I mean, you see the position of the town hall on the outside edge. You see where the king and queen are. He put that full force coming straight in line drive through the center for the pathing, and having a couple of stray drags on the outside does help out, especially when you bring in that royal champ. It's so much power left over with the heroes. Queen has her ability, and he even saves a baby drag, but what he's got to watch out for right now is this scatter shot here. And the skelly's coming out trying to distract, but for now, is it that king? Yak trying to help hold on just for a little distraction. All going to be about the timing of the queen for this, Garbin.
Yeah, that queen ability is going to help save the day no matter what. She'll be able to help take down the scatter, reach over the wall, grab that bomb tower, and the queen coming away to close out the 3-star. And these heroes are strong. Ever since we got those pets at Town Hall 14 has completely changed the game of having just the special abilities there, it's just incredible. The healing power from the unicorn, the owl that helped chain. We've got the yak breaking through walls, and then the lassie providing a bit of tanking to jump in front of the raw champion at times. So these pets are incredible at Channel 14 to really help your heroes finish off bases. And that's what it came down to. The queen was the last thing up, or maybe just a little bit of cleanup with a minion to the bottom side. But still, a great attack coming in from Ravi to start off with that triple.
Yeah, and you know, talking about RKO Ravi, that name I do know. So we do have some players that we do recognize, but it seems like there's been a lot of changes. And over on the Vengeful Noob side, I saw Van. I think Van, formerly from CRB, if I'm not mistaken, also a very well-known and great player. So this is going to be an interesting one. So some of these players do know each other. You know, whether or not many people watching know these teams or know all of the players, we do have players that do know each other, which does give them maybe a little bit more insight of what to expect. Ooh, we've got Nazmul coming in with the E-Drags, coming straight for the Sneaky Gob Town Hall takedown.
We saw Super Dragons. We've seen Mass Inferno Dragons. Now we're seeing Electro Dragons. And let's see if these sneaky goblins can help take the town hall down, freezing the town hall. Interesting that he uses the freeze. I mean, typically sometimes you see the invisibility spell maybe being used, but that freeze usually helps try to maybe freeze up the builders, which could be the case. That's probably what it was as they were onto the town hall to make sure that it does go down with the double rage thwarted ability. And that's what you typically see with a mass E-Dragon attack.
Yeah, this is looking good. Tornado Trap being picked up early. Not a bad thing because it keeps those E-Drags on focus and not too much damage right now. Ooh, but the Stone Slammer moving out of the way. I said not too much damage and it started coming in. But he makes his way to the core of the base to get the Eagle down, Carbon.
Yeah, and the Queen has to clear this Hound now. Unfortunately, just pulled the Hound out before the clan castle went down. And these E-Dragons just completely gutted the core of this base. Has two more freezes, another rage for these E-Dragons has to make their way around with the Raw Champion ability, with the Queen ability. There's the rage actually being used for his RC to help try to clear that, and I think we got ourselves a 3-star answer.
I think we do too. That's going to be some nice work from the Seeking Shield and the freeze to hold off that single targeting Inferno. You know you're going to finish off with a single at the end of the base, trying to hold on to those abilities, and a freeze or invisibility spell is definitely crucial. But I'm amazed because it's not often that you see so many, as I say, more traps cropping up, but it's not often that you see so many E-Drags left over because they often tend to die through the core of the base here.
With 56 seconds remaining, coming away with that 3-star, it may, in this war, come down to time if it is that perfect, and it's going to be about the speed of the attacks. It's happened before where it's been perfect, or it's been a tie war exactly, and that's what it comes down to. It comes down to average attack duration. Are you a fan of it? Meaning that you're just the faster one to attack? It comes down to strategy-wise. I mean, it's just the way how it is at the moment, and you love to really... I personally love those attacks that are really planned. You got the Queen Charge moving around, or some type of value with your heroes, and then just finding your way to the base versus just having them all moving through as fast as possible. But hey, it's about also getting the 3-star at the end of the day and trying to help your team win. Because if you do, you have a chance at making money. Yes, making money here in Clash of Clans, competing in the esports competition. And that's what these players are trying to do, and then earn that golden ticket to make their way to the finals at the world stage, which all we can hope for is, I don't know if it's going to be in person. Who knows? That will all potentially be released later, but I'm super excited for that later at the end of this year. But we have so much between now and then to just watch unfold.
Yeah, we do. And I mean, you know, the 10K coupled with the golden ticket, nice nice little prize there. But the best thing is the $50,000 prize pool that is dispersed, and it starts off through these qualifiers. It's through the playoffs that we have. So that's where we're going to see money coming in, and players earning some fair share for the work that they're putting through in this. And let's see, we've got from the Black Magic, Tang Su, which I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but that's what I'm going with for today. We've got the Super Bowler Smash. Now, we do see this as a very common ground style attack, and compared to many of the other Smash style attacks, this tends to be actually relatively fast. So you can spend a little bit more time with your Warden. You just don't want to go too overzealous with it. And he's doing some great work funneling up the path. And we are going to lead it through to that 130 side of the base where the multi is. So we're sectioning off with the Flame Flinger, so we get the pathing straight through the core to the Town Hall.
Yep, with that Warden taking his time to help clear this right side. Typically, you tend to send those Super Bowlers right on in between where that Flame Flinger is going to the top side, but that mortar is now hitting the Flame Flinger. That will cause some issues. Queen is down. Super Wall Breaker to open this wall to eventually path his way straight into the core.
Yeah, this is looking good. Again, we talk about the time-consuming factor, but once you get those Super Bowlers rolling, they go fast. So you don't have to worry about this, where if you're doing a Super P.E.K.K.A. Smash or Witch Attack, you need to be in there by the 2-minute mark. You can wait a little bit longer with this because of the power it does provide. A little bit of a split here, not too bad, except these bowlers go all the way on the outside of the base. All the way on the outside. Oh, wow. That is unfortunate to lose because you want as much power as you possibly have, but they're trying to get some bounceable value within this. We're just going to need to send in the Royal Champion to flank for one of these sides and work our way through. So this is tough with the Warden also working along. Queen's going to be left on her lonesome here to take on the Town Hall. This is all about recovery, but King still got his ability. Royal Champ's got her ability.
Oh,
and so does
no. Skeletons. We have a King ability, Queen ability. The one hog makes into the scatter shot, but ground skeletons pop. Queen's ability goes off. King's gonna be able to help run around. Towno's been secure, but the scatter shot just has not gone down, and this Royal Champion goes down. And it looks like we may just have that first defense. Is that what it takes? Will this one defense, which is gonna try to get into the 80s, closing in on that mark, and will that help secure it? Because we've seen just a small mistake can be all the difference at this stage of a competition.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be an easy go. He does have the Headhunter to bring in, just trying to wait as much as possible to get as much value as he can with the time remaining. We'll make it into the 80% range with the King's ability, able to cover through. Can he get to the 90s? 4 seconds left. I mean, it's moving fast. We've got an army camp down at the bottom side of the base, but 88 is where he lands. So that makes it a bit tough because this is the first back down. I think you called it too early. You jinxed it from the start, talking about those perfect wars and the time factor. I'm going to blame you on this one, Carbon.
Well, you can't blame me. You can't blame me. I mean, don't you? I think I saw the tweet or whatnot. Someone got you like the crowd or the Queen Jinx or something. You probably haven't. Was it somewhere? Oh, it's okay.
It's somewhere back there.
I saw that.
Slightly.
And I mean that now you own the title, right? So I don't think I can do that. It's not my fault, right? I mean, it was such a really close effort there. It's just the one small mistake of just the Super Bowlers not wanting to go in, right? The Warden not following and didn't get that pathing into the core. But now we're seeing a Super Dragon attack coming in with a handful of skeletons and freezes to use with that tunnel to the bottom side and using those rock balloons to help clear that bottom. I believe it was probably an air defense down there as well, with the Super Dragons now moving straight away and wants to use at least Super Dragons just to regularly take out the Town Hall at this point.
Yeah, this is the stagger approach that we've talked about, where you come in the biggest problem that I worry about this is the placement, but it looks good because we've got the dragons making the target on the town hall, but a lot will be exposed through that poison bomb when you do it this way. So you need enough of a spread to cut through the core, and you really need the support of the heroes to ensure that they push in. He's done that job beautifully here. And just needs that scatter shot to go down in the center of the base. Once that goes down, you have a lot of power left with your heroes because the dragons are absorbing primarily a lot of the heavy impact. And because, look at this, he's brought a Skelly spell to try and distract slightly, which unfortunately the queen did not get the advantage of. He does get a little reprieve now in the end, but Royal Champ can help out and try and work this along. There's still easy push to come in to try and finish off those defenses on the backside with that burning power of the Super Drags.
Yeah, the Super Dragon has one tick of health left. Use that freeze spell onto the Expo at this point. But Hog Riders are now coming out of the Flame Flinger, which might have been from the top side of that base. And he has a Royal Champion ability, and this is a 3-star. With their ability going off, Hogs are now just going to be at a point of cleanup with over a minute, and that's what you have with Super Dragons. You just have so much time on your hands. What a great hit here coming in, getting that triple, and this is going to put them in the lead in this match.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice big lead for them, especially with that 88% that we saw. We talk a lot about this. You want to be in the 90% range and typically as high up as you can go to put the pressure on your opponent. So 88 could leave a huge opening here, but also, are we going to see another perfect war? You know, we saw Cutie Fen come in with that perfect war. Very unexpected going up against a team like VN Tomp and I, and held them back with their defenses. So once you get that confidence built, you can really keep your team rolling through. And we have seen the versatility so far.
Yeah, and the big question I would love to ask these pro players, if we ever did interviews at some point in the future, would be to ask them, if one of your teammates in the beginning comes in with a fail, how does that affect your kind of mindset with the rest of the attacks? Is it like a huge deal breaker? Because we've seen in the World Championship stage, like coming into the last one, where when you saw one fail coming in, you could just see the emotion on their faces and saying, this one fail, even though let's say it's a 99, could cost us the war. And will that be the case for the Black Magic? Will that really play into their mental mindset here going into this next attack? Because well, at this point, they are going to have to be looking to 3-star out and then hope to have a defense. Because to be honest, at a pro stage, they probably would be saying, you know, in the 80%, that is very low. If you were to fail, it would have to be around a 90+% to really be having a chance to win on percentage if it comes down to a tie war.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll see what they can do here. We've got Pablo coming in with the Super Drag. So a little more Super Drag action in this matchup compared to what we saw. Only a 1-star difference right now coming in for Black Magic. But the 3-star, like you said, something they need to try and get in on the board for themselves. Also opting to use the Flame Flinger for this. It does set up a nice course. It seemed like such a long wait there for it to fire away, but finally coming through. And you do have to be very patient with these sometimes when you're setting up your funnel. But again, when you come in with Super Drags, there's such a fast attack. It doesn't necessarily matter. And I expect to see the same approach coming in for that Town Hall with the Super Drags. That's Stadra.
The beautiful thing, the beautiful thing that Pablo did here was using those balloons and Barbarian kind of towards the outside, really to protect that Flame Flinger. Because if he didn't do it, what would have happened? That Flame Flinger would have moved ahead and pulled those Teslas and got hit by him. And that would have caused the Flame Flinger to open up and not get the value that it is currently getting at the moment. So very smart idea, and that's why you see these pro players using those, either a Yeti, a Hog, or some sort of handful of troops to test for traps to really protect that Flame Flinger. Because if it goes down, the whole raid can shift on a dot, just like that. But the Super Dragons, with that path to the core of the space, are looking good to help clear this value and then finish on the Town Hall.
Yeah, now this is not the Sadger approach. This is a very risky approach that we've started seeing coming in, where you leave the town hall for the last minute, hoping your super drags power their way through, that your heroes have the ability left over to get in, and there are a lot of surrounding defenses. We have the air bows, we have a single targeting inferno, we've got the mortars around the outside of the base and the cannons. Super drags are hanging in there. We've got the electro owl actually helping out with a single, and with the split of the super drags, this is going to help keep the heroes alive to get into the back end. But I always feel like this is such the risky approach, though Pablo makes it look so easy to do.
Yeah, it might be risky, but it pays off if you keep your spells intact. And we have a Royal Champion that is now finally being deployed. I don't think Supercell or Clash of Clans designed the Royal Champion to be used in the last 40 seconds of a raid. I think they planned to use her a little bit earlier, and Pablo comes in with the 3-star, and that keeps the lead by 1 star right now. And the percentage with the 100%, obviously with the 100% hit rate with both triples. But that's what it comes down to, is those small things. You make that, if you fail, it really provides the other team with that advantage that they need. And we're going to have to see the rest of these attacks come in, and it's going to be really flowing back and forth, really, to try to get those 3 stars.
Yeah, so 87% defense is what the Black Magic is hoping to see here coming in against Vengeful Noobs. But we'll see if they can make that happen. I don't know that it's going to be an easy task from what we've seen so far. But you never know. Like I said, they might work a little bit of that Black Magic. They might have that on their defensive side.
Just maybe. We'll have to see. Indeed, because we've seen Super Dragons, E-Dragons, in Mass Inferno Dragons. We've seen Dragon Riders as well, but the one thing we haven't seen is regular dragons. Where's those? Yeah. We need to see the Hydra. Regular dragons coming in, right? Yeah, the Hydra, because we saw a lot of that, like, in the last year, in those wars coming a lot with the Dragon Riders, with the triple clone even sometimes, really just to gut the bases, because that is also a very strong attack. And I mean, Super Dragons is just the real meta at the moment. But speaking of meta, Diego says, nope, I wanted to switch things up and bring in the Super Wizards with that P.E.K.K.A. smash. And I'm not going to lie, I don't even remember the last time I saw this attack. That's how long it's been.
I've seen it here and there, but I think we're just seeing a lot more power out of the Super Bowlers. It seems to be the poison of choice. So we'll see how this comes through. I think it's less successful rather than what we do get to see coming in from the Super Bowler smash, but not as much bounceable value here, particularly in the core of the base. A nice lead though with the Warden and the Queen. We've got the log launcher to open up that course, and notice how he's shaping it up. He's lining this up from the outside edge, works his way in so he can get that direct path into the center, and the King can help out quite a bit, shaping up the outer perimeter at around the 330 side and work everything through nicely.
Yeah, with that Queen pathing her way down, needs the healers to transfer to keep her health. And looks like they do just that with a giant bomb, some handful of traps, tassels being pulled from the bottom side, really taking his time. The Warden now saying, hey, Queen, I don't want to follow you anymore. I'm going over to that P.E.K.K.A. And the P.E.K.K.A's off to the right with the King and some witches. And that Queen stepping up to grab that multi. Now the question is going to be, oh! The Warden ability has been forced.
This is unfortunate, because when you come in here, you want to get the Warden ability as deep inside the base as you can, particularly because of the multi-targeting Infernos and the potential of traps along the way. He does have the Loons actually sneaking across, which will help protect the healers. They are going for that multi-targeting Inferno, but these Ice Golems just freezing everything up out of the CC and holding it off. This is not going Diego's way right now.
No, those Ice Golems just stalled him up so much that he lost almost all his troops. Now he's really going to rely on these Yetis and to help take the Town Hall down. But he still has the Royal Champion to use, though. That's the big thing that can be the saving grace for Diego.
Yeah, so the Rage Up Yeti's definitely doing the work, and with that extra update that we had a couple months back, this is why we're seeing the return of Yetis. They are still very powerful, but there's not a lot of time left. Scattershot is not down. Royal Champ is in, launches her ability. Oh, Queen takes it on. We launch a Seeking Shield, but is 26 seconds enough? That minion going in for the storage. It's a minion and a dream. The Royal Champion working through. Wait, Queen's backtracking? Oh, there we go. She takes a jump to go in for the assist. Carbon. This could be by the skin of his teeth, but we still have that Dark Elixir storage up.
9.
He needs a split.
Oh, no.
He needs a split.
Oh, no.
They're not splitting.
No, they don't. Wait, come on. 2, 1, get it. What?
Whoa!
He did it. Whoa!
No way!
It's a 3-star from Diego with, I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't want to say no triple because then I would have been taking that crown for jinxing it in the other way. But, wow. That Queen and Royal Champion saving the day.
I will grab it for you. I will give it to you the next time. You did not jinx. But man, that was mighty close. We talk about buzzer beaters. That for sure was a buzzer beater right there. Wow, talk about recovery. I think maybe Diego should be part of the Black Magic team because he definitely worked some of it right there. Let's see what Moshtaba can do here. They need to keep the momentum going for Black Magic because they are 1 star behind. And we've got the Super Bowler Smash. And I try not to say this anymore because often when I say we don't really see it fail much, we wind up seeing it fail. So we'll talk about the fact that it is a very speedy approach. And I like the use of the Warden and the Queen together because we have a lot of heavy damage coming in, but it also speeds up the process a little bit more and works everything in line together. But this is also clearing out the pass to send in the Blimp for the Town Hall inside.
Wow.
This is an interesting approach.
The multi. So with the multi going down, potentially from the Yetis, it's going to help the healers. So that is the big thing. But he doesn't get the Town Hall. He gets both multis.
Wow.
Okay, but what's the plan for the Town Hall now? A wall break or a jump? You could do either one of those.
Yeah. So we've got the options here. We've got the narrow line pass. This is still looking good. There goes a wall breaker. Gets it opened up. We've got the Super Bowlers working their way in. But he needs to make sure something goes inside the base. There's a huge line open to actually distract. King working on one edge. Super Bowlers working on the other. And it's the Warden and the Super Bowlers that get this taken down, but they go through the poison bomb. Healer's trying to keep them alive through that rage, and they survive. This is looking like it's got so much power left, considering King's just burning through his ability now. Queen's got her ability, and we've got the Royal Champ.
Yep, we do. With that jump spell giving him access over the wall, Queen will be able to help take down the Royal Champion. The healers are still up. Warden does just stay alive right there, but the Ice Golem can even help freeze. And we've got ourselves a 3-star right here for the Black Magic, and they need it. As they are down by the 1 star. And with the Baby Dragon coming to the bottom side, Queen and Royal Champion ability. Don't swag your abilities, especially if you can speed things up, because time does play a factor, and finally now uses them for the triple.
Yeah, this was definitely much needed, but the defense needs to come in. And again, that's the Black Magic they need. An 87% 2-star is a tall ask, especially considering the recovery that we just saw coming in, what they're doing. Oh my goodness. Vengeful noobs are on a vengeful path right now to try and make their way in and face off against Cutie Fentmar. Because don't forget, what we're watching right now is to see which team will face off against the team that took down Vian Tampanai in the war previously, which is Cutie Fen. We still, of course, have yet to see Queen Walkers, though. Queen Walkers is going to be playing later today. But what I love is that we have a lot of teams that we don't often get to see in the bigger circuits making their way through as well.
Yeah, for anyone that is just joining right now, watching these matches, the next match after this one is going to be Queen Walker Stephanie coming in with the previous one, which was QDFN defeating Vian Tompanai. Not just defeating them, but a perfect war. 15-12. What a beautiful war that was. And they really put on a showcase. And that was a great way to start it off for them in this competition in this very first qualifiers. And we're going to have to see this next attack with the Super Dragons again. All right, now my question is, if you qualify with the Super Dragons, then when the update hits and the balance changes, how is that going to affect you going into the playoff stage? So that's going to be very interesting when it comes down to that.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough thing. We'll see how the nerf goes, if we see any style changes, because there are a lot of players that rely on this. And we do see the blimp coming through. I noticed the 2 clone spells, the invisibilities. Are we coming in with the clone minions? Oh, yes, indeed, we are. And this is such a lovely approach when you have surrounding defenses like Scattershot, single targeting Infernos, and you get that nice range for the Town Hall. And this just keeps the focus of the Super Drags to push and split between the core of the base and to the outside edge, opposite typically from your heroes. This is looking absolutely lovely from King Mo, Vengeful Noobs, and with a Queen and Royal Champ ability left over, and I don't see a Scattershot or single targeting Inferno in sight to worry about. I think he's got this one in the bag, Carbon.
You say that now. Hang on, let's see. With the Queen RC abilities, with a few Super Dragons, should be good, right? I mean, we have the Air Expo. Seeking Airmine, hang on here. It's not over yet. Just hang out with that Queen ability. Oh, down goes the Super. Okay, Lady V, I think there just might be a reason you might have that crown. Hang on. Will the Warden help take down this Air Expo? Don't tell me we just had a Lady V Jinx here. Will the Queen do it? The Unicorn goes down. Oh no. The Queen is on the wall. You did do it. Did you really? Did you?
It's not. No way. It's going to be a 98%. No way. Archie, oh no. The 99%. I will sit here in shame. With my Jinx sash. The crown is.
I think we now have confirmed it is 100% written in stone that you are indeed the Jinx Queen. You have done it yet again, Lady B. Oh my goodness. Well, what a close attack, 99%. And just when you think had the triple, it is now all tied up on stars. It's just the percentage differential, and we're seeing a 4-4, meaning 1 attack each from each side. So if we see Black Magic with a triple, that will now force a triple on the other side to win the war. So that is really all you can ask for at this point. And if they 3-star, that's going to be the difference maker.
Yeah, it does put the pressure on, and that's what is built up right now. The 99 does keep Vengeful Noobs in a good position percentage-wise, but like you said, if the triple comes in from Black Magic, the pressure is on that last player, and that is a tough spot to be in. I mean, you talk about players like Yuta, 14, from Queen Walkers, who we'll see later today, who tend to take that final spot. They are used to the pressure, but not all players are. Not all players are used to having to come in with a 3-star performance in the end when your hands are shaking, your heart is beating, and you know everybody is watching you, waiting to see if you're going to pull it through and get the win. Because right now, we're not talking about double elimination. We're talking about single elimination to move on into tomorrow's bracket and face off against QDFN, who took down with a perfect war and some massive defenses. They took down Vian Tompanai. So there's a lot of pressure building up in this one.
There is indeed. With the attack being used is going to be a mix of regular dragons and super dragons, and only 3 of them. So maybe the super dragons will want to be used closing in and towards the town hall potentially, or you're just going to send them all to the bottom side, helping take out that eagle artillery as fast as possible. And we're seeing 2 single target infernos with sweepers to the bottom side, and that really wants to help try to prevent from dragons from down there. Because notice we have all 4 ground expos, which will help with the super dragons, but it's really a mix of single targets is really bad if they lock on. You can take them down quick, but ground expos don't hit you. So it's like, pick your poison in the space here. As he's going to try to move his way through with the balloons, the dragons, all the way to the bottom. And are we going to see an early warning ability to protect them and just try to power through the core?
Yeah, now what he does have to watch for is the heroes because of those ground expos. He does have to work those heroes through. As we saw with this kind of attack, you want your heroes for the back end of the base, helping out, take on the town hall. Struggle to get into the core here. Scattershot is going down at least, and the queen is focused and directed on those skellies. But we've got the Hydra combination here still working through, and this was smart, the waiting of dropping those heroes because of those ground bows. We need them to survive for the town hall position, but I'm a little bit worried about how much this is thinning out with the dragons.
Yeah, with the dragons not taking out that core of the base near that single, he's relying on these heroes to path their way all the way around this base, closing in towards the town hall with no wall breaker. He's trying to have the Yak or even the Queen just try to get through the wall. But the Royal Champion is now being used with a Rage and 4 freezes. 4 freezes still to use. Freeze on the single and the Queen, pulling some traps to try to clear that core. Rage, freeze for the Royal Champion to grab the Town Hall. Can the heroes clean and finish up this base?
Oh, this has the opportunity. I am not going to say one thing in any way, shape, or form.
Wow.
Wait, I think I can say it now, Garvin.
Yeah.
I can say it.
Yeah.
I can say it. He's got this one in the bag. We've got the 3-star coming in for Black Magic, which does put the pressure on now for Vengeful Noobs to come in with the 3-star. They have the percent advantage, but if they don't pick up the 3-star, they are going home. I mean, you've played competitively in the past. You played with WHF. How do you feel in these situations when have you ever done like last attack hitting in your career playing?
I've done last attack hitting for sure. It's a lot of fun. It has in terms of the rush, in terms of trying to be closing it out. And the thing is, if you attack last, really, it all comes down to you. You either are the hero for saving the day, or you're really the villain for failing on the base. Is like either it should have been. It really all comes down to you, all on your shoulders. Even though it could have been your clanmate who attacked in the middle or even at the beginning of the war, every single attack matters and all adds up together. But if you attack at the end, you take the responsibility. And I mean, if you lose, it's just devastating there to fall short. But really, I would feel that any pro playing here in this situation would take this opportunity. They would take it to say, if you had a chance, if your attack tripled, you win this war, would you do it? I feel like every pro would say yes, because they would want to believe in themselves at getting the triple, especially in this current meta where attacking is so strong. And it is a high likelihood that we're seeing triples at this stage. But granted, the pressure just makes it that much more difficult. And will that get to Van here in this attack? We'll have to see.
Yeah, so coming in with the Queen charge Lala, we've got a blimp, and I'm curious to see where he's going to place this. Whether it's going to be to help set up the path for the Queen. She's got this open connection in the middle of the base. You can see the blimp taking the dive in here for that scatter shot position. We've got the Yetis coming out. This can help with the multis, and we have a jump to connect when she's on that inline edge, but the scatter shot doesn't go down. The multi doesn't go down. Is this enough of a spread? I'm more worried about that scatter shot. Invisibility might need to be dropped to keep the Queen on focus and in course to move along. But there's still a lot of distraction here.
Wow. Look at that balloon that pulled 2 sinking air mines to really protect those healers. Remember, a triple from Vlad, and they win this war. If he fails, they are out of the Clash Masters here in the very first week of the qualifiers. That jump spell, beautifully pushing that queen right in towards this town, getting incredible value. But like you mentioned, that scatter shot did not go down from the plimp, pulling out the Lava Hound and Ice Golem. But the queen is going to secure the town hall, hopefully, after she now deals with these skellies.
Yep, she's going to be able to take this on, has her ability as well to carry through, but he's got 2 more rages to hold this on. But right now, the queen has to contend with that hound that's come out, sending in the royal champ while this is all distracted, coming in for the scatter shot. The ground bow is going to be the biggest threat for her helping on that multi, unfortunately. But let's see if we get that early Warden flip coming through. Looking to see what we have on the back end for heroes. The scatter shot's there, but the royal champ has gone down due to the queen, so he can do the early Warden ability on this one.
He can indeed, with those balloons pathing their way around with just over 30 seconds in this raid. The balloons going into the mortar, into the scatter shot with the freeze coming down. The queen's got her ability. RC pops her ability, trying to path their way around. Needs these minions to help clean up. 24 seconds. Don't tell me time. Oh no, the wizard.
So he's got the storages. Yeah, queen pops her ability. He's trying to save some time. 16 seconds left.
He's going.
Look at this.
Quick.
Go, Carbon.
Oh,
10 seconds.
Oh, 7.
Do we call it?
You win. And look at that.
The 3-star.
Yes. Vengeful noobs with the triple comes away and gets it, and they win. What?
Just close to the buzzer. That's crazy, Carbon. I mean, you talked about the pressure, and this is what we've seen coming through is the pressure moving along. You know what I want to see in this is you do something with a heart rate camera, you know, in your streams from time to time, especially when you do your own hits. I want to know how fast Van's heart was racing at that point with it coming down to the wire, knowing that that triple was needed to advance him on and get the % win. That was incredible.
I can only imagine, because it's funny because when I put the heart rate monitor on to see how nervous I get, just putting that on, it makes me a little bit nervous. But it's funny how, like, even when I'm attacking, just like, oh, I'm just doing a regular attack, or even just like a fun, friendly war, a hit, and you know you only had that one attack, my heart really starts to go up and I start to get nervous. But at this stage, had to be absolutely crazy, so nervous. But what a beautiful job that they came in with the triple. And now we can take a look at where they will be going. We can take a look at the bracket and push them to the next round into the semifinals, where they will be playing tomorrow to take on Qualifier and knocking out the Black Magic. Beautiful job from them. And that's all you really can be asking for, is to come down to the final attacks, and you either triple, you win, or if you don't, you lose the war. And we love to see that. And the next war you see on your screen, Queen Walker Stephanie taking on Many Brothers, and that is going to be what a war. I know a lot of viewers have their eyes on that one, Lady B.
Yeah, I mean, Queen Walker Stephanie is a name that everybody in Clash of Clans knows. They have built such a reputation for themselves. So I know that they're going to be a fan favorite going into this. But looking at what happened to Viantompanai getting taken down in a perfect war, Queen Walker Stephanie is going to have to be very careful against Many Brothers, because they might not know as much about how to handle the bases and how they're going to try and hold against them. So that's going to be the interesting part of this match to watch. You would think it's a David and Goliath sort of scenario, but in these cases, the dark horses seem to have the advantage. We saw that with Viantompanai and Qualifier with the 15-star war, and we'll get to see them matching off against Vengeful Noobs, who was one building away from a perfect war as well tomorrow. But yeah, this is what we're waiting for. The Queen Walkers match to come up against Many Brothers. And I believe we'll actually be catching this just after a short break.
Welcome back here to the Clash Masters that is sponsored by Rush.gg. I'm Carvin and joined with Lady B, bringing you the final two matches of today. And we've had some incredible wars. We've had a perfect war. We've had one coming down to the final attack, which was almost a perfect war if it wasn't for your jinx that you did in that one, which we'll have to talk about a little bit later. But the next match, Queen Walker Stephanie is coming up, and I know all the viewers are ready for that one.
Oh, absolutely. This is the match everybody's been waiting for patiently, though. The matches that we saw previously did not disappoint, and I can't imagine this one will either. Queen Walker's coming into this one often as the favorite. I mean, like even during the World Championships, they were the favorite going up against JX Tiger. But it doesn't mean that they're always getting those victories. We've got them facing off against Mini Brothers today. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a Brazilian team who's coming into the mix, but we'll wait to take a look at the roster and confirm the players that we do have on the team here. Of course, everybody knows Queen Walkers. We have the newest addition, though, and this has been exciting. Kazuma, who is the sixth player but coming in today in place of Stadra. We've got Gaku, Stars, Klaus, and Yuta, but we've got Mini Brothers here, Carbon. And I think I'm wrong. I don't think this is a Brazilian team.
Yeah, I'm just going to say I do not know anyone on that side, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a chance because they're at this stage with Rapal Ram. We've got Clutch, Kazura, and Vanky Stanley coming in, and they are going to look to upset the Queen Walkers. Can they do it at this stage? They certainly can because they've made it here and they've taken out competition. I don't know who they've taken out, but I mean, they've had to taken out some names in order to make it to the stage here to take on Queen Walkers. And we've seen it come down to small mistakes that can cost you the war. And if you miss a blimp, you miss a warning ability, you accidentally do a little bit of a funneling error, it can cause the fail. But now the question is, will the Queen Walker's bases help them defend, or will they have to get a perfect war, which we've seen before? Will that be needed in this one? We're gonna have to find out.
I feel perfect wars are certainly needed in this one, which means Queen Walkers needs to come in with a clean run, but they don't necessarily know the opponent that they're going up against because we don't get to see teams like Mini Brothers quite as often. Queen Walkers is a team that's featured, and that's one of the themes that we've talked about with Vian Tompanai. It puts them in a difficult spot because the teams coming into it, they know the type of defenses and attack styles that they're going up against, but these well-known, heavily streamed teams don't. So it puts a lot more pressure on their shoulders of making decisions of what bases they're going to bring to try and hold back if they don't know their play style. And I think that's going to be the one difficult part of this for Queen Walkers. But this is why in this meta, you need to come in with those perfect wars because you are countering that fact that you have players that are coming in constantly, especially with the power of Super Dragons for now.
For now, right? Until the balance changes. And because that's what you want to see. You want to see balance changes affecting the meta because that's the beautiful thing is usually the pro players, the best of the best, they'll always still be there. They can adapt, right? During certain metas, you'll see certain teams come in because they really shine during that, and then the balance change can affect them, and then they're no longer as effective. They no longer can come in with the same amount of triples, with the same hit rate, but it really shows and shines that if they stay there, then they're really showing that they can keep up with the changes, and that's exactly what you want to see at the stage of competition in the esports scene. And not gonna lie, I personally would love to see the wars where it comes down to the final attack and it's not as many triples, because when you just don't know if an attack with 3-star, you just want that feeling again that when it's 3 stars, you're just like, oh my, it was an absolutely beautiful attack. And that is what Gaku is trying to do here with the Mass Inferno Dragons.
Yeah, so We've got the E-Drag to start sectioning off some of the pathing here. Nice use of the blimp for the sneaky gobs. Again, we're eliminating that poison bomb as an option. And the heroes can do a lot of work on the back end. The way we're pathing through this, we've got the big section split off of these scatter shots, and these are things to worry about. But the multis, we have to keep on course for. The drag riders, of course, able to take on that heap, but freezes up where he does have the Inferno Drags primarily working their way through. Heroes should have this under control, but we do need to get the range to get to those scatter shots as well. But he's got a lot of power left and a big split working along in this one.
Yeah, with that King ability just going off now to the top side, trying to path these Inferno Dragons straight in towards that single target Inferno, but he's got to deal with both sweepers pushing him back. The Skelly's going to provide that distraction onto the enemy queen, but the sweepers are going to cause the Inferno Dragons to keep resetting their Inferno beams on that queen, which is going to be a big pain.
You know, and it's a decision that you make because of what you need to use these freezes for, and he's not using them for the air sweepers. We do have the invisibility spell right now. He's hoping his queen would make this turn, get in here. Royal Champ's trying to help out, get to those air sweepers. She's made her pass. She's got her Seeking Shield, can make the cut across to help it out, and the scatter shot does go down. Queen with her ability and a low health Warden is a good thing. And you know what? Gaku, very, very smart here to save those spells because this is giving it a little bit more power. Is it going to be enough, though, with the Queen's ability? Because she doesn't get that big of a regenerative health boost as we see with the Royal Champ and the King, unfortunately. But the Unicorn can give her that extra bump.
Yes, that Unicorn's going to try to help save the day for the Queen. Look at that. Those archers are providing that little bit of distraction. She's making her way through. The Archer Tower is the biggest threat now. Going to take on the mortar, and the Queen's getting hit. Hang on, Queen. Gaku is looking to be getting... Oh, it was a one-hit Archer Tower, and it is just the 3-star for him. And just having his final hero getting it done, it shows you the strength of those heroes. They are so strong at Town Hall 14, and that's indeed why you want to be maxing out your heroes. They're getting the best value in your attacks. And wow, Gaku keeping it close, but no other way. He's starting off with a 3-star.
And the power of the Unicorn and what it can do, which we will also see getting a nerf as well. Coming up. So that'll be interesting for these kind of attacks, particularly where you have your heroes on the outside of the base where the Unicorns can be taking on some damage, or you're coming in with your hero dive entries. So I wonder, I mean, I highly doubt it's going to change the way people actually use their pets. But you never know. It could maybe force a shift. That would be interesting to see if it does enough of a difference.
Yeah, that's the big thing is the Unicorn. How strong has it been compared to will it be? I mean, really, I would love to see like a before and after. Exactly same attacks of where it comes down to just the small Unicorn saving a queen or things like that. And I mean, you want to see attacks be super close. You want to see them. You just don't know if it'll be getting that 3-star. And if it does triple, you want it to be due to that perfect execution and planning. And look at this. We have Stanley coming in with the Flame Flinger to the top side, but he used regular wall breakers in combination to help take the traps and try to protect the Flame Flinger. And it was beautiful on Klaus's base because there was so many traps that I would have fallen to that trap of Klaus, and my Flame Flinger would have absolutely been destroyed.
Yeah, and I like the Yeti there also taking down the mortar, giving a nice, easy passage to get to this town hall. Now, we've got the Warden on the opposite side here. We can work our way through, lining up the path. We see the wall break open, but we want to get into the core of the base, so we need to section this off. We've got the Super Bowlers coming in. That King needs to take a veer to the left. We see how it's pathed off down at the bottom. But are they going to get that jump coming in? He's going to force that King ability if he wants to work through the core. Otherwise, these troops are going to walk.
Wait, the town hall never went down. The builders were too much. Yeah, the 2 builders were too much for the town hall. He needed like a free spell. And now only imagine when the update and the balance changes, those builders are going to be repairing even faster. So, oh my goodness, that town hall not going down. He still got the Royal Champion, but the builders are still working on the town hall, and they actually just might make that town hall have full health again.
By the time they get there, they for sure will. And this is what we were talking about, is that pathing that was not lined up. Look at what's happened. They've walked. So now he has a wasted jump that he has to use again to get closer to the town hall. We've got the Royal Champ, we've got her ability, and we've got the Rage. He's hoping that's enough, but it's a single targeting Inferno that's gonna force her to launch her Seeking Shield off Dice through. And he's got nothing. That queen's not gonna be able to beat through the wall fast enough to get through the single. Hold on, wait. Wait, she's on the outside edge here. She's got her ability. Can she save this? 30 seconds? Does she have enough time to work her way in? Pop that ability off, drops in the archer, tries to take off some heat. We've got the wizard backing this up, Carbon. He's going for the save. It's not going to be the 3-star, but he does not want to start this one off with a 1-star. 15 seconds left. The queen going for the battle builder, but does force the ability and gets the town hall down, saving the 2-star here. And the percentage actually is pretty reasonable.
Yeah. The percentage is not bad. 94 right there from what it could have been. It could have been a 1-star. And if you put up a 1-star while giving up a triple to the Queen Walkers, your hopes are automatically almost completely gone of winning the war. But that changes everything, and they are still in this one here with the first set of attacks. And that Queen saving the day. I mean, you don't see that often. The queen usually is messing something up to not allow you to get the 3-star. But this one, she saves the 2-star, grabs that town hall. But I think it could be a completely different attack if you use that freeze onto the town hall for the builders to stop them from repairing it, because that is what stopped this attack from being the triple.
I think a lot that was going on as well at the same time was, you know, when you come in with some of these, you're multitasking. I think he also recognized that he was not getting that funnel set as quickly as he had wanted to. The king was not set to take down the 6 to 9 o'clock side of the base so he could get the force into the core, because that would have helped out quite a bit, actually having that extra jump working through. But in the end, saved it, worked it along, did nice work. But let's see, Kazuma coming in. We've got the Blizz start here, and he's coming in with the Hydra. We said this, we haven't seen the Hydra yet. Well, actually, we have seen one already now. So we've seen almost every single drag combination except Dragloon maybe, or Queen Charge Baby Drags, which we've not seen in Town Hall 14.
Yeah.
Beautiful takedown, though, and a nice funnel with the Yeti here as well.
Yeah, the Yeti might go and grab the air defense. No, that just stays up, which is going to be a little bit of an issue, especially for a dragon attack. But with this king that's going to path his way, closing in on the cannon, then he should loop his way back on the outside by the spell. No, he goes for that first and then the cannon. So he will make his way in with that early warden ability to path these dragons straight on in.
Yep, these drags have what they need to get through. And again, I always like to point out, taking down that poison bomb is a huge feature. When you don't have to worry about your drags going through it. Many different ways to go in the style that we've been seeing with any dragon style, but this does tend to be the easier approach. But you need to work through the core of the base. Heroes often working on the outside edge alongside of your dragons. Now, we've got 2 invisibility spells and nothing has worked through the core. We've got to worry about these scatter shots. This is going to be a tough one, but there's a narrow opening on, maybe not a narrow opening, there is a big opening leading to the core of the base that the queen, where is she? If the king and queen work together through it, they could get in there and take on their scatter shots easy, but trying to save this, this queen who's just weaving her way around, I think might cost trying to fix this.
With that Royal Champion ability, skips, tries to make it to the multi. There's the freeze towards the back end scatter. But we got an air defense in the corner, so he can't drop the minion, which would get shot by the AD. So he's trying to be as careful as possible. The queen can help finish this base off with that king's help. But time, 40 seconds left. Can he do it? Does he have enough time? Queen is running. They making their way through. Come on, we got openings all across, so she could step in or walk around. That's not going to matter. But with 30 seconds left with the storages, should be enough time. Unless some ground skeletons pop up, the queen decides to step into the town hall section with her ability. Archers are down, and he's got it. Kazuma.
Yeah.
There it is.
Even the skeleton's not gonna hold this one off, Carbon. Able to get it done. Good thing he held on to that ability, though, because it did get a little bit closer than I think Kazuma had hoped for. But a nice way of recovering. And, you know, we see these open path bases that have that access, and you really can take advantage. And in the end, the heroes did really work through that nicely. That king did some awesome work alongside of the royal champ, who can just jump right over top. Surprised we didn't see the approach coming in, though, charging that queen through. I always love seeing that with the multis in the core of the base, king on one side, sectioning it off. But Kazuma knows what he's doing, able to pick up that second 3-star for the Queen Walkers, and this puts them in a good spot. They already have the defense, though we do have Mini Brothers with the 94% 2-star, which is a good spot to be in. That was miraculous recovery for something that almost turned into a 1-star, so very impressive. And we were talking about it before. Mini Brothers are an Indian team. They come from India. So what I love is that we're seeing more and more Indian teams in the competitive scene making some highlights. And look at this. We've got the hybrid coming in. So we've got some nice variety coming in from Mini Brothers themselves, but particularly Vishal going straight for that town hall with the queen charge to start shaping up the path for the hybrid, but also eliminating the potential of having to go through the poison bomb. Never an ideal scenario.
Yeah, that's the big issue, is can you keep that queen alive through all that damage, including the clan castle of Kazuma? Slowly going to be clearing the storage. Sneaky Goblin's going to help try to take this out to force this queen in. She's going to be taking on the Build Hut. Then the Grand Warden Altar. She'll be able to get a lot of value, but there it is, raising this queen up. We're going to see the hybrid come in between this queen and the Flame Fling on the left. With that CC, making her invisible, and whoo, that was close. Great job to keep that queen alive.
Ooh, yeah, when you come in with this and you're investing that housing space with the healer, those traps. Doesn't manage to get them all. Oh my goodness. The wall breakers, the super wall breakers, do not get the opening sent in too, and they didn't get the value to push the queen, so she's got to be through the wall to get to the scatter shot and ideally take the focus off of the hybrid. But this queen needs to do her work, and the fact that she's able to hold on to this ability is going to be huge because she's got to work her way through. Now taking the focus, the hybrid does have the opportunity to clear up the space, and we have the Royal Champ ability to try and help out, plus that reinforcement of Hogs coming out for the additional multi.
Yeah, with that Hogs taking out the multi to the bottom, we got a Tesla farm to the bottom side. Well, Champion has her ability. A few miners are up still. The queen's got her ability. She's gonna have to use it to try to get through this wall. But with those traps on the bottom side, the giant bomb, the skeleton's gonna do a little bit of damage. The ward's helping. RC's ability goes off, skips across, hits the arch towers, and now it's just cleanup time for Cashel Mini Brothers. Beautiful job with the hybrid. Got that value with that queen charge. And that is the 3-star they need. And they're still only going to be down by the 1-star now due to the back-to-back triples from the Queen Walkers.
Yeah, so what they're hoping to see is this defense coming through. And because they have this 94%, it does put some pressure on. We have yet to see Stars. And I mean, Stars is an attacker where we know we're going to see Lalo coming in from him. He's almost never failed a Lalo. I think I've seen him fail maybe once or twice. Klaus probably the one that you worry about because you never know what he's coming in with. Like he's an evil genius mastermind. You know this in the Creative Masters series. So you never really know what's going on in his head and what he decides to come up with, which could put them at risk. But I think he only does that when he knows he has a safe chance. And then, of course, you have Yuta, who's known for being under pressure in that final spot. So that leaves the question for Mini Brothers, can they find a way to trip up these 3 remaining star players from Queen Walker Stephanie?
It's going to be an absolutely incredible test. They're going to have to try their best and just hope, because at this point, they can't do anything. They've already set their bases. They've already set their clan castle to try to defend whatever is in it. But it comes down to the planning for the Queen Walkers now. And like you mentioned, we still have some absolutely amazing players coming in, and Stars is leading off, and you were indeed right, coming in with the Lalo, and he is an absolute Lalo genius. And he starts off with the Blizzard. It looks to be making the air defense visible so it can protect a little bit further and allow this blimp now to make it in deeper to help grab the scatter shot.
Very nice. So we've got a beautiful opener here. If he can keep these Super Wizards going, gets that added value. Also getting the CC lure. Now, when you come in with these dives, this is nice when you can pull that additional value of the CC. Take it to a dark corner, take it out, nice and neat, easy, clean, with limited damage coming in, just as cannon on the Queen right now. But this is going to waste a little time because we've got the Ice Golem and we do have the Hound to get through. But the poison plays perfectly well to actually hold off those pups. But this Queen,
cannon.
This is the problem.
The cannon. Oh, he gets it. Wow. Ooh. This Queen is, she's trying. She's hidden here, and she's going to make her way to the town hall. So no healers. And this is the strength of the Unicorn we talked about, which will be getting a little bit of a nerf and trying to push this Queen all the way to the town hall after all that damage. No healers necessary. And the King's going to pass his way to the bottom, so he's going to move his way through. And the Queen's ability goes off before she grabs the town hall. She's going to have to make her invisible or something to secure it.
There we go. The invisibility spell dropped to try and carry this through. He does have a freeze as well that he can drop. Gets it down. Is it quick enough? No! It is not. And he's got the battle builders there to repair the town hall. He's already set off the Royal Champion, but he's going to have to change his plans. Lalo straight through, which means the Warden ability now has to carry the Lalo into the Town Hall and cannot necessarily be used where he wants it. We do have to worry about this Queen podium, though he's got the Headhunter's clip, so the timing does work nicely here. But no freezes to hold off the multis, 2 multis, and the scatter shot. And the Eagle.
He's passing his way around. Yep, with another final haste, no more spells, 5 more balloons to come in. 2 multi-target Infernos in the core, probably with a bunch of red air, but balloons find that tornado trap, and that's it. His Queen not taking out Tunnel has completely changed his plan because he wanted to Lalo from the bottom side of the base. But he had to be sure to secure the Town Hall, and Stars is going to be getting a low percentage 2-star. So everything has now shifted, and now Mini Brothers is looking good to get a triple and help take the lead on a tie-star war. But Stars, it's going to be an 80% looks to be here.
Wow.
Great try, but that Queen's ability was not enough to take that Town Hall down.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not very often that we see Stars come in with a fail on a Lalo. He's known for these Lalos, and that is the problem with players that do these particular kinds of attacks. This is a way to try and bait them, you know, but I mean, maybe not necessarily baited in this one. It was just unfortunate. It was a really good choice of a CC combination, though, and that's what held off. But you mentioned it. This begs to question what's going to happen with the Unicorn, because that wasn't even enough to actually hold off the Town Hall and the Queen. And because he had already launched his Royal Champion, he had to make the sacrifice for the Loons, and all that spell combination already invested coming in with the Queen from the start.
Yeah, I think if he just used 2 balloons, he could have tripled. And you're asking,
Yeah.
wait, what do you mean 2 balloons? 2 balloons on that cannon when the queen was taking damage, right? If he did that, would have maybe been able to help take the cannon down. I know it takes like a little bit more than 2, like 3, but even 1, or having a giant, something to protect that queen from taking all that damage could have been the difference of getting a 3-star. That's the small things that go in raids that most people just don't realize. They think, oh, you know, my attack failed because of this thing here, this thing here. Well, I think usually it comes down to failing because of 1 tile, 1 troop that you picked wrong. And that's the reason. Otherwise, it could have tripled. But with the Super Dragons coming in for a ram, with that Stone Slammer, and now we're having this Super Dragon secure the Town Hall as his heroes move his way all the way to the left side by that Eagle Artillery, as the rest of his troops path their way straight on into the middle.
This is pushing in very nicely, holding off the Air Sweeper and the multi. This is a good position to have those freezes available for, but he's lost everything through the core of the base. We just have this 1 lone Drag Rider and Super Drag, and is that enough? He's got 1 final freeze to try and get through these 2 multis. Drag Rider's going down fast. Warden, Warden taking the Sam to the face, trying to take down the multis, but the multis aren't anything for the Royal Champion or the Queen, and that Royal Champ can jump over the walls. It's just the Expo right now that worries me the most. So drops a freeze, which is perfect, and this gives it the ability. Carbon. Ram coming in with a 3-star here.
Wait, the multi. Wait, RC. Oh, wait. Oh no! Oh no! Don't tell me. I think he's got enough time with Queen Bill. He should be safe. Don't.
He's got a minute 13 on the clock. Surely that queen can be through a wall with a minute and 13.
Well, she should be. Should be able to. Testing with a poison for any potential skeletons that pop up. But wow. Oh my goodness. What an attack here. Coming down to the end of his heroes cleaning this up. And look at that queen just slithering her way across and gonna be able to secure this one. Queen's gonna go for the wall. There's the poison spell. And we've got the 3-star, which means that now Mini Brothers have taken the lead in this match. And there it is. A 3-star indeed. And now everything is turned upside down. And everyone's now questioning, like, wait, whoa, we're 3 attacks in and they've got the lead. Mini Brothers are here. And it comes to that first attack when they saved that 2-star. And that's what made the difference here right now so far, is getting that Town Hall, because a 1-star would have changed everything. And Queen Walkers are now really going to have to be tripling their next set of attacks and hope for a defense.
Yeah, Queen Walkers hoping that they have the right defenses to bring in, but against teams that they're not as familiar with, leaves it up in the air as to what they expect to have to try and defend against. And in a meta where there are so many different options, that's where it leaves the problem for these well-known teams, because it's easier to defend against a Queen Walkers, Tribe Gaming, Strut, you know, like any of these teams that you're seeing repeatedly over and over. You know their style attacks, VN Tomp and I. It makes it so much easier to do. But if you don't know what kind of meta, and maybe you're even assuming, oh, they're just going to go in with super drags, but they're not. That's where you have the difference maker here. So we have seen beautiful recovery so far coming in from Mini Brothers, certainly impressing, taking this lead. And it seems the day of the underdogs, considering we saw VN Tomp and I knocked out earlier today, and Queen Walker Stephanie are hanging in here. I can't even say by a thread, but they're at least tied up, looking for the opportunity to try and turn this one around. But let's see, we've got 30 loons coming in for this one. We've got the wall wrecker, or the log launcher, to open things up. But we do have the weight combination, so I was curious to see if we were going to switch this up to the flame flinger, but that is not what we do see happening here.
He does use the wall break onto the cannon, which is going to allow and bring this Ice Golem in to help protect her, as the log launcher is going to be opening up all the way to the core and help potentially push this queen into the multi there. There was an earthquake, and the big thing, the log launcher took damage, and it might not just take all the value he wants. It now opens. Uh-oh. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah, but he does get the Yetis a little bit deeper inside, but they're sidetracking and moving towards the king. Drops the invisibility spell, trying to give a little bit more power, and they're turning back around to go for the single, clearing that up. And Quake could have opened up just a little extra wall to the town hall to get inside there, but we've got the Lalo pathing actually shaped up rather well. Let's see which position he's going to come in from, if he's daring to come in from that town hall side or opting to go in from the scatter shot. Coming in from the long end of the defenses, we're going to have to use the Warden ability to carry through. But look at this Hound go, soaking up the traps along the way and taking on a huge lead here.
And notice how the Town Hall hasn't activated yet for Klaus as he pushes his way through, freezes the Town Hall now. Get ready for a tornado trap, because I don't remember seeing one, unless there was. Passing his way, red air bombs, and there's the tornado trap. He pops the Warden ability for a few of the loons. There's the rage. He will secure the Town Hall, and look at that. That was a beautiful Warden as he's passing his way still through the space. Now he freezes up the bottom side scatter, hastes his way through another freeze, and Klaus will be getting this one as long as he's got the time with the cleanup. He's going to save the final balloon for the storage. That will take some time. Remember, the storages have quite a bit of health, and finding a giant bomb, so the headhunter even goes down with just under 30 seconds now, using the haste at the bottom side.
Yeah, that haste is going to try and sweep them through the storages, but he's still got the other one to get up there. 17 seconds left to go. That one loon that he saved, look, that's coming in to go for the storage. It's just enough time to get the job done. Close calls here for Queen Walker Stephanie, and that defense still puts him in a tough spot if they don't pick up another defense coming in against Mini Brothers. But Klaus, living true to his nature, coming in with the 3-star, nothing stopping him, even though things went maybe just a little off course from what he had wanted.
So it's turning out to be very similar to what the last war was, where it's going back and forth at the end. So if we see a triple coming in from Mini Brothers, then we see a triple coming in from Queen Walkers, that means the final attack will determine everything, just like the previous, where you win and you move on, you lose, and you are out of it. And that's what we love to see when it comes down to the final set of attacks. And Mini Brothers, the pressure is put on, because at this stage, with 2 final attacks remaining, you know you have an opportunity to upset and knock out the Queen Walkers. And that is such a difficult task to do. But can Clutch be clutch indeed? We'll see. With that Queen charge, Lalo dropping the Queen to the top side, going to have pull up 1 archer out of the Clan Castle. And waiting to drop the healers, as the Hogs now are going to try to lure out the rest of the CC of archers. And that is what Stars put into CC, so that it could not easily be lured out.
Yeah, this is the clown card that you hope to pull out, but it is going to waste a lot of time here. But should not be an issue for the Queen as she takes on the Town Hall, but could come into effect, and it is going to slow it down because she's going to have to contend with that Hound later through this raid as she works into the core deeper. We do have 3 freezes, is likely going to have to invest one to try and hold this off. Loons sneaking their way through, trying to soak up some traps along the way, but also sectioning off the position to work through as well. This is definitely time consuming. So far, we're at 1:48, just dropping the king. And this Lalo likely isn't going to get started until at least, I would say, 1:14. He wants to ensure this Queen stays alive and picks up value.
Yep, and he uses that Queen ability through the Hound, which is going to pull the Queen over, as now the Hound runs off to the king. So makes that invisible, but all he's seeking airbinds, he almost has like no healers left through this charge. And here comes the Hound back again. Single target Inferno does just go down, but the Queen, she can't stay alive.
Oh, the Eagle just raining down. Now, the Hound can be lured to the opposite side of the base, but the problem that we have here is the minute we drop those headhunters or the royal champion, that hound gets pulled into the mix and becomes problematic. But we do have a healer or two on the royal champion to try and help out. Keeps the royal champ alive, pushing that Lalo. And again, we started very late in this with a lot of base left. Hasn't even hit the 50% mark. This could be the recovery that Queen Walkers were hoping to see. 40 seconds, Warden using that ability, and there's still a lot through the core of the base. But the royal champion coming in for the Expo and scatter shot. If he can keep these loons alive with a freeze, holding off the AD, and the Eagle misses the wizard tower though. There's not enough time, Carbon, though. That's the biggest problem in this one.
Yeah, there's not enough time, plus and not enough troops that'll finish this one off. The Royal Champion just goes down, but that charge into the Town Hall, you saw all those archers, and that's a very great kind of defensive idea, right? To use a handful of archers, maybe I think there might have been even like 9 or so archers inside of that clan castle to make it even harder to lure out that lava hound with hogs, just like what Clutch tried to do here. And that caused the hound to be lured out while the queen was getting locked down by the single and messed everything up. Plus the seeking air mines in the town hall to prevent charges just like that from trying to get that value. And that is the defense that the Queen Walkers wanted and needed. And we've got a war that with the 11-10 score right there, well, it says 8, which should be 10. And Queen Walkers up by 1. So they're up by 1, and they probably are going to be up by percentage as well. So we're going to have to see that Queen Walkers get a 2-star percentage. They could win this war potentially. But, you know, we have Yuta. But we close this one out, and he always wants to be getting that triple. And his favorite attack is the Queen Charge Lalo. Let's see if he does that here.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and patiently see, but we've talked about Yuta being always the 5th attacker. This is kind of like their secret recipe of how they play in order. And it works well for them. And Yuta being the team captain, it's very respectful and honorable for him to actually take on the heat for the team. Being that one person that whether, you know, they win or lose, it's on his shoulders, particularly because if they lose, when you get in those tight situations. But the 1-star lead makes it a little bit more comfortable, especially as you mentioned, now they have that percent advantage. So we've got the Queen walking her way through, King meeting up on the opposite side, and we need to work our way in, getting towards that town hall a little bit deeper inside the base with only 20 loons who want to try and circumvent around the outside of the base. So it's all about forcing the path to move inside where we have a lot of heavy damage.
Yeah, with the town hall right in the middle there, the Royal Champion going to make her way to the end of the Royal Champion, but her ability force not going to be able to take her down. But it got all the value on the left side, so easily drop a few minions. But there's a raid. Uh-oh, there's a lot that this queen still needs to get through. Hang on. It is not locked up by any means, because a 1-star will completely open up this war.
It would. This Expo not going down hurts quite a bit. Wait, ooh, those Coco Loons doing most of their jobs. A little bit of a splash coming in. Oh, the multi. Do we not have a freeze? Freeze it, freeze it. Drops the invisibility. Needs to keep this queen alive. She's got her ability, but she's blocking. She's not going for the town hall.
Don't do it. No, when things were thinking it was all good, but it was the ring base with the town hall or town hall more centralized.
Ooh,
and she goes, wait, he pops the warden, pops queen. You don't do it. Don't get a 1. No, 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 no. This can't be possible. What? 2 balloons go to the town hall. Queen goes to the town hall. He makes it. Queen dies. Oh, minion. No.
The balloons are not making it. Can the warden, the Electro Owl, get in there? Try and take it down.
No.
The 1-star opens this up completely. Wait, Electro Owl is going for it, but is it enough? 31 seconds. This is not gonna happen.
What? This, you can't write this up. We're coming down with a 1-star from Yuta. All he needed was a 2. Like, I would have been like, hey, you know, I'm going with Super Dragons. I'm going to be locking this one up. Send it all Mass Dragons in the middle to get that 2-star and percentage, because usually that leads to a higher percentage. Or maybe if you did clones in the core, but a 92% 1-star. So they have the lead on percentage, but it's going to come down to this final attack. If Mini Brothers triple, they win.
Yeah. This is the I am flabbergasted. Yuta coming in with a 1-star is not something you see often. Stars coming in without a triple is not something you see often. We have to give some big credit to Mini Brothers, who's kept this as an interesting war against one of the top teams in the world. These are the twice vice world champions in 2020 and 2021. I mean, not an easy team to take down and defend against. And they just managed to, well, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it yet.
There it is. Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it.
We'll see. Okay. We've got a Zap, and I'm liking to call it the Snow Low, or the Ice Hound. And because it provides that freezing effect in a very large area, can Rapop come in with the clutch triple, trying to have Skellies provide a distraction for the Queen as she makes her way in with regular wall breakers. Did he forget? Oh wait, does he have? I'm trying to see, where's his second super troop? I don't see a second. I just was there sneaky gob? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm like, why don't you have a super wall breaker? Okay, he's got one though. Unless they used a few others earlier, but. All right, he got the value with the regular wall breaks nonetheless, but the arch is coming out of the CC. He needs to clear this scatter shot, but double ground skeletons pop up in front of his Raw champion.
And the giant bomb, she takes on way too much damage, doesn't get the value coming in, so scatter shot remains, and the Queen's got to get through the CC while taking on, well, the Unicorn's actually taking the damage for now, but she's burned through her ability. He's got a big task at hand, and I like that. You called it the Snow Lalo. I like that one. I've always called it the Ice Lalo. The Snow Lalo, yeah.
He called that.
I love that. Yeah, it's so much better than Ice Lalo. Beautiful. Yes. But we don't have the Town Hall activated. Tornado Trap is actually going to keep the loons here, and there's no red air. No red air bombs. There we go. Gets the Warden ability off. Gets the loon tasted through. Has the Stone Slammer to come in. This is all about Lalo's skill right now. Freezes up. The scatter shot. He's got one more freeze to go, but nope. He's got 2 more scatter shots to go. Oh my goodness, Carbon.
We've got the balloons. Stone Slammer. The Queen is still up. The lava pups are onto the Queen now. Headhunter gets sprung. The Warden's trying to do what the Warden does best of staying away from the groups. He's way too far away, so he's not going to be going over there. The Queen is just staying up. The Stone Slammer being up, though. There is a chance. The Warden dies. Yes. Oh, no, but the Owl clears it. Wait, can the Owl also clutch the Queen? One more shot, Owl. What? But the Dragon Rider dies to the scatter. Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness. Trying to turn this around so much.
Wow. 92%, getting a little bit more there. But they needed the 3-star. And not gonna be enough. And this one will be super close in terms of percentage as well. 93.0 is where it looks to be finishing. And is that it? Yes. 95 for the attack, but 93 overall in the war. What a great effort. And Queen Walkers are going to be just edging this one out. And Yuta putting up a 1-star to just keep things close. You know, he did it for the content. He did it to keep us on the edge of our seat. You know, that's what he's probably going to want to say, even though it was the 1-star. But Queen Walkers, they're safe to move on to tomorrow in the semifinals.
Oh, they definitely are. I got to give a huge kudos though to Mini Brothers for what they just did
Yeah.
against the Queen Walkers. Huge shout out to them. Great recoveries, great attacks, and even this last attack that they had coming in super close
Oof.
with things going wrong. That's what, that's what you got to do as a player. You have to be able to adapt, adjust. But what we need to find out now is in this last match, who has to face off against the Queen Walkers that still won after a 1-star war?
Wow.
That's a big question. Let's take a
Yes.
look at the bracket and see who we have up next and see where Queen Walker Stephanie right there faced off. They're moving on. So we've got Indonesia playing up against Vanguard Gaming. So winner of this match will face off against Queen Walker Stephanie. And of course, you saw earlier today, Vengeful Noobs take the win over the Black Magic. Vengeful Noobs, of course, coming in 1%, 1 building away from a perfect war. I won't say who jinxed it because that's
I don't know
point
who
here.
possibly did that.
Skipped over that. But Vian Tamp and I also getting taken down with a perfect war against them from QDFN. So this is really exciting stuff that we're seeing. Some great Dark Horse teams riding their way through. Now in this one, I'm curious to know your thoughts because Vanguard is a known team. Indonesia, though, we've been seeing a lot in the circuit, in a lot of the tournaments coming in, and we've seen them coming in like pretty high up. What would be your prediction on this one? Who do you expect to see having the advantage?
I would say I have to lean totally on your expertise on this one because I, to be honest, I personally have been doing, like you said, like the Master Series that I was doing and covering and like really focusing on that. So I've been out of the loop on a lot of these teams. And for me, it's really refreshing to see these different teams so I can learn more about them and be able to see them throughout these stages. So I actually have no idea who's going to win this match. And all the viewers at home definitely know more than me when it comes to this one in particular, because these are players that they are probably interacting with way more on a daily basis in terms of if they are playing in different tournaments, in different leagues, in different events that they are trying to facing off against, or maybe seeing them in other streams. Well, let's take a look at now the rosters for me and everyone else to learn who they are on these teams here between Indonesia and Vanguard Gaming. And you probably know that some of the players over on Vanguard Gaming who we have is Cobra, Niabu, Alex, Secure, and Dr. Jonas over there.
Yeah. And as I mentioned, this is a different Vanguard gaming team than we had last season, and I haven't seen as much from them, so I'm not quite sure what to expect. That's what I'm excited to see. But what I do know about Indonesia is they've been making a lot of waves. We see them coming through really strong, and we've got Riki Coco, King Aristo, we've got Kanyan, we've got Al Qadir, and Nicholas Lewis. So we'll see how this works out. And I think the biggest thing for me is not knowing what to expect from this Vanguard gaming team. I think Nebo is the one player I do know from the team. And I don't know what I've seen from Indonesia. I think I would give them the favor in this one. But what I love is that you've got this is like a scouting line for you for your next series, like for all these creative series that you're doing, these master series, you're getting to see some new fresh faces coming into the mix. And I will say, like team like Lemniskit, where you have Rootkit, who was on your creative master series, and the team that he has, that was a name we never really heard of, and Rootkit was part of it. And they've done some phenomenal work along the way. So always nice to see these new teams, new players shining and taking some center stage. But we've talked about how this is single elimination, but there are a multitude of qualifiers of these formats to come through to pick up points. So we will have the opportunity for the teams to still try and work their way through. And you can see here the format of it. It is 3 weeks of competition. And while it is single elimination, the teams are going to be building up points as they work their way through. But they have to get to these qualifiers. They have to get here to like today and do what they're doing to build up those points and keep doing it consistently to try and make their way in. But it's this last qualifier format, the last chance qualifier format, that I am so looking forward to, because we're going to get to see the 5th through 8th players at the end of the qualifiers actually make their way through in that last chance qualifier and get a schoolyard pick.
Oh, yes. Yeah, this is going to be the fun stage. If you guys are wondering at home, what is this? Well, think about it like this. If you come in the 1st through 4th place, you lock yourself in the playoffs. Okay, that's good. We all are ready. We're all used to that. But this is where things change. If you come in 5th through 8th place, you then get to pick your opponent who you play in the play-in stage. But you probably have never seen that before. I haven't, which means that you pick your opponent. If you win that match, you make it to the playoffs. So then you're asking, like, wait, you can just pick any opponent you want? No, because before the play-in stage, there is going to be a double elimination bracket where teams are going to be competing. And you win the double elimination, then you move on to get selected by one of the teams that finished 5th through 8th. And you just play one war. You win that war, you make it to the playoffs. So that's where the storyline comes in of who does the team that came in 5th, 6th, 7th, who do they pick, right? Especially the one who has the first pick. You pick a team that you're like, yeah, I'm sorry, no offense, but I think we're going to have the best chance at beating you. I mean, how does that conversation go down? But we are starting this one off with the Super Wizard Yeti attack and 6 bats. Okay, we're being thrown on a loop here. Where's my notebook? I'm taking some notes. I'm grabbing this one down. This is a different army we have not seen.
You know, they heard you're scouting for your Creative Master series,
yeah.
So this is what they're doing. They're trying to impress you here and now, Carbon. So we've got the force coming through with all these Yetis, log launcher, opening up the base, and this is an easy push to get straight to the town hall. Once it gets to that town hall compartment, it is all open. Scatter shots are reachable, singles reachable, and you can weave your way inside and out of this entire base. But we get back in Tesla Farm, so he's got to save some stuff, but we've got the bats to come in and help out with 5 freezes, Carbon. 5.
Oh my, look at these bats. They are moving. We got the Tesla Farm Wizard Tower. Watch out, there's the freeze coming in. I think he already might have pulled the tornado, but the freeze again. Grabbing a wizard, grabbing the Teslas. 2 more freezes. Look at these. Remember, builder huts are really damaging to bats, but he's got so many moving through with a final freeze. Those bats just cleared everything. What?
Those bats doing super work here, and we've got the queen ability. I mean, the bats are going to cut their way across, get to those storages, get to the cleanup before anything.
Wow.
Look at the time remaining on the clock. It's a minute 21.
Yeah.
This went in super fast. This is insane. This is why Indonesia has been on top. This is why we're seeing them doing impressive work. And I think Carbon now has his eye on Al-Qadir.
Wow.
Very nice
that
to say.
Was an attack. 10 Yetis, 7 Super Wizards. There might have been a little bit more Yetis inside of his CC, but still, that was one of the fastest attacks that we've seen all of today here, if not maybe the fastest. Still had over a minute left in the raid, and it's even faster than those Super Dragon attacks that we are typically seeing. And it's just because, if you think about it, all of his troops and heroes and everything is down within the first 10 seconds of the attack, and then you just react with spells. That's just insane. Moving his way through. Incredible with the Super Wizards and Yetis. And that's the type of stuff that when you don't know the team you're facing, you can't plan for, because you don't know that they're going to be coming in with that type of army. Yeah, you can plan for it after the fact, but it's already too late. You've already set your bases and CCs, and you're just going to hope that your base can defend something like that.
Especially when they're coming in with something that isn't typical meta here, where they're using their own style. So it does make it interesting. It's great to see. I mean, we've talked about how nice and refreshing it is to see all these new faces, but what we're getting to see is not only the talent, but the creative thought process that's going behind it and the differences of style. And I'm curious now to see what else Indonesia is going to be bringing, if they're going to have similar attack styles, if they're going to be coming in with anything else different. We don't often get to see super archers quite that much, but recently, I will say, I have seen a couple of super archer blimps and like super arch blizz blimps as well coming through. So there is still a lot of creativity out there that some teams don't expect to see. So you can throw your opponent off guard in that regard. So we do have Super Bowler Smash coming in from Nevo. I feel like this is one of the safer options when it comes to ground these days. One of the more, I mean, we do talk about it. It has a reasonable success rate for ground style attack, and it also has less risk of time fail. But we've got to get to that town hall. We've got the Warden working alongside. We've got the Flame Flinger. And because we have that Quake, we know we're looking to activate the town hall and then pull that Warden through, where we just created the opening on the 130 side going head into the scatter shot.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't have to worry about the builders because they're going to be on to the Air Expo, the Clan Castle, while the Flame Flinger is going to be going towards that town hall eventually. That's the question. Will it be able to then lock on and take it down and have enough time, as these Super Bowlers are going to try to path their way straight towards the core with that single target Inferno up to the top, not getting frozen. Jump is down. Super Bowlers, get ready. Will they path their way in? Warden can pop his ability. Giant Bomb hanging on to it, but freezes the single because the King did get locked onto. Single goes down, and the Flame Flingers now lock on tunnel, but the Ice Golem goes over there, and that will slow things down unless he drops a wizard to help try to take it down.
Oh no, he's got to think fast here. Wait, he's got one more shot, maybe. There we go. Gets the shot. The Super Bowler helps out as well, and the town hall goes down. So we'll wait and see what we have coming in with the troops to come out of it as they're frozen up here. But a minute 12 on the clock, and he's got a lot left over. We do have a freeze to try and hold off the back end, but with the Queen and Royal Champ ability, this is a huge amount of value.
Yeah, look at what he has to get through. Left pops the Queen ability. He's got the Arch Tower Mortar, another one to the bottom, but the RSC ability is still intact with some Yetis that came out of the Flame Flinger. Should be able to grab the Teslas with the Yeti Mites, moving their way around with 45 seconds left in the raid, and he's got the ability to use, and we've got the answer with Vanguard Gaming getting the 3-star. But time is not on their side, but that's not what they're worried about now. They're just worried about winning the war, either by stars or percentage. But great job from Nebu of Vanguard Gaming answering the call here in the final war today. Because you win this, you move on to the semis, which will be tomorrow, which you do not want to miss, and which was the exact same time, which it was today. And just incredible stuff that we've been seeing all day today, and we will be crowning the team tomorrow to be getting first place. Remember, if you win tomorrow, you win first place, does not lock up a playoff spot. It just gives you the most points. And whoever has the top 4 points over the 3 weeks of the competition, then you will get pushed into the playoffs. You don't have to worry about trying to qualify being the final 4. So that's what these teams are trying to fight for.
Absolutely. You want those points coming in. You want to be in a safe zone, but there's still plenty of opportunities. I know, people are worried that they're not going to see teams like VN, Tomp, and I getting in it, but they still have the chance to work their way through with 2 additional qualifiers and that last chance qualifier format that we're so much looking forward to. So we have to wait patiently now, see what's up next for Indonesia with that impressive start with the 10 Yetis and bats coming through. A lot of power that they brought into that. Are they going to be one-trick ponies? Are they going to come in with some creativity? Are they going to switch it up?
To see. Ooh, some more bats.
We've got more bats.
Yeah.
And 22 sneaky gods.
I want to ask I want to ask the Clash Masters admins and organizers, you know, could we do this? One thing, this would be amazing. I mean, probably wouldn't happen, but, you know, is if during the stage when they had to pick their opponent, the captains were on a webcam or something so you could see their reaction. That would be absolutely amazing. I would love to see that when that happens, but oh my goodness, I cannot wait for that. But King is not waiting to send the Sneaky Goblins to take that Town Hall down, and there it is being secured. Lures out the Ice Golem as well with the Lava Hound to push to the bottom side, and he's going to send his heroes with that Log Launcher. It seems to the bottom in towards this Eagle at this point. It looks to be with some Ice Golems to try to lead the charge.
Yeah, so this is basically called the Soham. This was popularized by Soham, a player from North America through ESL. And he created this where he used the power of the heroes to cut through, like we've seen in other style attacks that push through the core of the base. Using the Log Launcher, you take down the Town Hall with the Sneaky Gobs, and then you're using your drag riders, about 4 or 5 of them from one side where you have the split. Town Hall one compartment, Eagle another compartment, and scatters on either end. So you can use the Royal Champ, the drag riders together, but you have to keep the bats away from those drag riders. Otherwise, you run the risk of that crossover and the potential to pick up the traps along the way and lose those bats.
Oh yeah, with 6 bats to use. Queen still has her ability, but RC's ability goes off. She's trying to help clear the ground expo. And here comes the Dragon Riders. We got a Tesla farm popping on the right side next to that air defense. And that multi in the core is going to be a big pain, especially for the bats. But she does have 4 freezes to use. But Builder Huts, multis, Wizard Tower, double freeze is something you just cannot afford to do. And it drops it. Another freeze. He misses the Builder Hut. Wait. Another final freeze. Uh-oh. Multi. Go down. It does not. Oh, it does.
Whoa! Gets that down, and the bats get through these the battle builder huts. Working alongside though now with the drag riders is the risky part because he's only got 22 seconds left to go. Still has to make his way down to the storages and to that archer podium, which is already being pinged away by an archer. He's got this.
Wow.
12 seconds left. Sneaky Gob coming through, paying off, holding that one down, and picks up the 3-star. Oh, Indonesia coming in pretty strong there. That was a nice save. That was a little close for my liking.
It was crazy that the bats were able to actually finish that one off, and he used the freeze to use 2 freeze at the same time to get a Wizard Tower and a multi. Usually whenever that happens, it's always going to fail with the bats, at least from what I've seen. But I've just been proved wrong, and that's something I love, to be proven wrong in a situation like this where I learn. And I'm like, oh, I'm taking notes. So you drop some sneakies, then you're going to have your heroes come on the opposite side to get their value into some core with the Raw Champion, Dragon Riders, and then bats wherever the troops themselves did not go. So beautiful job in that attack. Got the value, got the triple, and this one is starting off really hot to close off the day. Just try to make it to the semifinals, and their opponent is going to be the Queen Walkers.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, knowing that if you win this war tomorrow, you have to face off against Queen Walkers. There's a lot riding on the line there. It's going to be a lot of pressure tomorrow, but you still want to get that opportunity, of course, and push your way and see if you can have the ability to take them down. Now we've got Alex coming in for the Town Hall with the Queen. Have that invisibility spell. You see the damage she's taking. And again, this is going to be interesting to see how much more is going to have to be invested in these kind of openers when the Unicorn actually gets nerfed. Could make a huge difference maker in these kind of openers, Carbon.
Yeah, with that Town Hall going down, we'll have to see a Lalo with a Snolo with the Ice Hound coming out with super minions in that CC. Does have a poison spell to use. Uses it now as he makes his way around that CC all the way on the edge of the base. And the balloons pathing in through the single. Another single in the core using a skeleton onto the queen to help try to take her down. But the warden ability protect these loons all the way through the core. And look at all these balloons. There's still quite a bit of defenses on the top side still.
But there's quite a bit of loons still working through, and that Stone Slammer holding strong. He does have a freeze still reserved. Would be nice for the Wizard Tower. Drops it right there, exactly where you would expect to see it. But the Stone Slammer, half health, hasn't even opened up. A minute 23 on the clock. Alex coming in, just firing away. He's got the power he needs, but still needs to worry about that Expo and getting back over to it. I assume we'll see a Drag Rider come out, and while the Warden is actually providing the tank for it, Stone Slammer's going to take it down. So GG, Alex.
Yes, Alex with the 3-star, and it is going back and forth. 4 triples to start off this war. And neither one of them is giving up any ground. But I think we still have to give the advantage right now to Indonesia due to attack duration from that absolutely crazy, like a minute and 40 second, well, with like a minute left in the raid of that mass Super Wizard Yeti attack. That just might be in their favor at the moment. So we're going to have to see some fast attacks from Vanguard Gaming coming in to try to close it out, or just hope that one of them gets the defense and then they just keep up the triples.
Yeah, the pressure keeps building when you wind up in these wars, and I think the fun thing is that we get to see the different style attacks coming in. We're not seeing as much, you know, we're not seeing all super drag right now. We're not seeing all air attacks. As much as I love Lalos, I'm a huge Lalo fan. Because of the appreciation of what it takes to actually Lalo. But we do get a nice variety. And you could see that with Alex's attack, how beautiful that was with the pathing. It's not easy to do. But we do get the variety coming in. But Indonesia's been really exciting me with what they started with and how they're working through these raids, even how close-knit it came in their second attack. And they're in the position that, you know, when you start first, you're setting the tone of the war. And for them, if they 2-star, they leave that opening and the confidence over to Vanguard. So pressure continues to surmount for these teams. And as they have small breaks in between to just finalize their plans, go over, get ready, take a deep breath, you know, and get ready to attack. Those are the moments that they just need to try and calm down. This is why I want to see those heartbeat tickers. I want to see how antsy they get at the start of these wars.
Yes.
So coming in with the Super Bowler Smash, again, very common style strategy that we're seeing currently. And we do have the Flame Flinger to go for this Town Hall here. Nice loon for the mortar.
And with that Warden starting off to the bottom, and the Earthquakes helps activate the town. Also, the Flame Flinger can make its way in to help take that down. As the Builder Hut goes down, should pull the Warden. No, he's going to have the Warden just grab the Town Hall with the Rage Spell while he's at it. And they can potentially also step in to grab the Grand Warden ult. No! Okay. Never mind. You did not want to take the Town Hall down. Yeah.
Just an added bonus to maybe speed this up. We know it's not too much of a time-consuming attack. These Super Bowler Smashes tend to be a little bit faster. I like this opening in the base. We've got this nice narrow pathing coming in, but you've got the jump to connect it, of course, to make sure that nothing falls out of soup. It gets everything opened up, and an additional jump to push through that back end. He's made really easy pathing coming in, but what we want to see from this Flame Flinger is that single targeting Inferno going down. Oh my goodness. This King coming in, ravaging the 12 o'clock compartment.
Yeah, with that, Eagle should be going down soon, hopefully. Wait. Oh, yes, finally. Just goes down as now the Super Bowler's path their way straight to the core. The jump should give him access towards the multi, but that Flame Flinger is still going. But notice, now that I'm thinking about it, that Raged Up Warden helped damage the Town Hall. Yes, it didn't go down, but what that meant is that the Flame Flinger didn't have to wait on the Town Hall so long, so that you can see that it's actually still going and getting more value, because it would have been on the Town Hall so long that it could have probably already been forced to open up and pop. So that could have been a really smart move of taking the Town Hall down, making sure that it was low health. And this is another triple from Indonesia. And Nicholas Lewis with the 3. Some Yetis and a Velk will help finish this off. And we got the Barbs to the bottom side. And GG, what another great attack. The Queen just went down, but has enough troops to finish this one off. And Vanguard Gaming, you're going to have to keep pace with this.
They definitely are. And you can see they're well versed with their bowlers, with their Yetis. And, you know, these are, I think, I want to say underappreciated troops, because this showcased the power of the super bowlers. It took a long time before people were really convinced to actually use them. But more times than not, when you're doing these super bowler raids, you can see that they are some of the final troops remaining. They get a lot of power, very, very strong attack, a nice difference than what we used to see with the regular P.E.K.K.A Smash with regular bowlers, it's just a much stronger approach at it. And of course, the Yeti buff that had happened months back has really improved the value of bringing those in. I mean, we're seeing them more and more for funnels value. We're seeing them for coming in, clearing out cores with multis and singles and trying to help just pick up a little bit more. And even the Yeti blimps have come back to life. So nice to see the combination that we have. I think that's the most exciting thing about the current meta, that it doesn't have to be one attack or another, but it does make it very difficult to defend against, which we do talk about. Yes. We are now 9 stars on the board for Indonesia. They have picked up 3 triples so far, and we've got to see what Vanguard has in store for themselves to see if they can keep tied up here.
Yeah, that is going to be the big question, is can they keep it all going? And it will be going back and forth throughout this war in terms of who's going to make that one small mistake. Are they going to drop the Queen in the wrong tile? Are they going to drop the Warden just a little bit too late? Or who knows what's going to happen? But we got the core of Vanguard Gaming coming in with the Super Bowlers. Wants to push his way through all the way to the core, and we're seeing a lot of these types of bases. And if I'm not mistaken, is this like the same base that we saw that Yuta hit with the Queen Walkers that he 1-starred? It almost looks identical, if not like the exact same base.
Yeah, very similar. So I hope for Zykero's sake, he was taking notes of what to be careful of, what to watch out for. You know, and pushing this along. But coming in, obviously, with a different approach, we don't have the Queen charge coming in. We have the Super Bowler Smash, and this is going to push through the core of the base. We do see this in a lot of the ring-style bases these days, but it does mean that you have to use your Warden ability just a little bit differently. I mean, if you start getting on a lot of damage, you're going to have to force that Warden ability, but you also need to carry your troops through that Poison Bomb, get everything safe and sound. So trying to hold on as long as possible, especially as we power through this multi-targeting Inferno, and a nice early pickup of the Tornado Trap actually doesn't affect the troops quite so much.
Pops the Warden ability perfectly through the Town Hall Poison to protect them, and he's continuing his path through. Super Bowlers are, he got one of them to the top side, which stole a healer. Now the King's going to get locked down by a single, but raises it up with his ability still intact. Should be able to get some nice value, and look at this. Why didn't we see Yuta come in with an attack like this with the Super Bowlers to smash through the core and get that value? The Royal Champion is going to help clear up and get some value to the bottom side. And this is another triple. The 3 stars just keep coming in. And what a war to be closing this day out. Wow.
Yeah. I got to say, Yuta probably sitting there taking notes right now saying, oh, facepalm, why didn't I do this? But it didn't cost them in the end, which is, you know, lucky for them. They held the defense ultimately, but this is one of the ways to go about this, and a beautiful approach here. So Vanguard keeping this tied up. I mean, we had a potential situation. Well, I mean, we've had a perfect war. We had a near perfect war that was one building away that someone, some random person managed to jinx. I don't know who would do that. But
I would
I
have
don't
no
know who.
idea.
Yeah. So,
Somebody.
but you know, we are in this potential as they keep building this up. We've not seen the double perfect war combination, and that does mean that it comes down to time. We look at the time factor when that happens, and we have seen some pretty fast attacks coming in from Indonesia, but we've not seen any of these drag attacks, and that's usually what's used, the super drags, to try and, you know, allocate for faster time.
And I'm just receiving word right now in my ear through my headset that not only are they tied on stars, not only are they tied on percentage, but they're tied on average attack duration. That's what I'm receiving word to. Average attack duration is also tied at the moment. I thought it would have been on Indonesia's favor at this, but no, it's all tied up. Everything is 100% even in this. So it literally comes down to a 2 versus 2 war. That's it. Think about it like that. There is 4 total attacks left. But here we go, 100% tied. Where is this gonna go? With the ward ability protecting this blimp for the Super Dragons.
Oh, so we talked about the Super Dragons being one of those factors. I think they're keeping this in mind as well. Oh, loses out.
What?
So much around, but does get the Town Hall down, doesn't get the single down, which is unfortunate. And we don't push through the core of the base here. So this is going to be a little bit tough. He does have a freeze, but freeze we ideally want for the back end scatter shot.
Yeah, that clone, although it seemed like it didn't really get any value. Like a rage could have done the same thing, but he wanted to clone the loop and get the single and the air defense probably over on the right side of it. And so that definitely didn't get the value he was hoping for potentially. With just the Super Dragons now all dying out, and is this the defense that Vanguard Gaming was looking for? As we talk about all these wars being super close, or this one in particular having the almost trying to get that perfect war, we're seeing a first fail with a Royal Champ to try to come in and now lures out the Lava Hound.
This is going to stall things up, and the Queen is already pretty much died out. Used her ability. Royal Champ cannot cover this one on her own, especially with just a freeze alone. So unfortunately, not enough power to get through this.
Yeah, with the RC ability going off and trying to now take out, locks onto the Hound of all things. And this is even a low percent. 79, gonna have a minute left in this raid to try to get that 80%. But this is not what Indonesia was looking for. Obviously wanting that 3-star, as it was 100% tie war between the two, even on average attack duration. But very nice effort. But the clone just unfortunately didn't get that value he wanted for those balloons, and they all got hit by that Town Hall Giga Bomb.
Yeah, this is what was very much needed for Vanguard. I feel like the fact that we had to talk about the tied up situation, that it was tied on time, was just the ultimate jinx of this happening. Unless, of course, you know, they managed to tie percent in time, which doesn't usually happen. Usually, like ever.
Not often. It really comes down to you only really take average attack duration into account when it's a perfect, because then that's all tied. Usually it's like if it's 13-13, usually it's like percentage is super close, but not usually tied exactly, because think about it, it's like the odds of being tied exactly are still super low, but it still could happen. Granted, it's happened before, it's happened in the past, where the average attack duration does take account. So it's happened enough that the pros have to be aware, right? They have to keep that in mind when they're doing their attacks. So that means getting a Raw Champion ability off and not swagging that. Using a Rage spell to speed up maybe the spells around, or a Haste if you swag something. Or using an invisibility spell on a defending king, they don't go for it, and then they start cleaning up instead. Like, these things matter, and these things will take an effect. And you just hate to see, let's see a team win or got the triple, but then they swag something, which caused them the 3-star slower, and then they lose off of that. That would be a nightmare situation.
Yeah, it definitely would.
Yeah, we'll have to see what Cobra can do here with Vanguard.
Yeah, so Cobra coming in with that snow low that Mac has coined. I love it. But coming in with a big entry so far. With the heroes diving their way through. Big, powerful push. King taking the lead. That gives a lot more power for the Queen and the Royal Champ, of course. And I like that he's coming in with this big open compartment. Drops the invisibility spell to get just a little bit more power out of her so he can push her in just a little bit deeper to the space.
Yeah, let's see the type of value he can get. Royal Teaming's ability's already been used. Cannot grab that multi. That would have been a huge bonus. The Queen's ability does go off. We have all the Inferno Towers still up. Scatter shots, Town Hall. He doesn't have the Eagle Artillery. So was it worth it is the question. We'll have to see as the Stone Slammer is going to try to path in towards the multi and the Lalo with the Warden going over the Town Hall.
Yeah, so Stone Slammer coming in needs to try and help section off this multi-targeting Inferno. It's a good position for it, but also getting pushed back by that sweeper, which is stalling it from picking up the multi-targeting Inferno. We've got that Warden ability popping through with, oh, the Tornado Trap's gonna hold it back despite being in the rage. Are they gonna get their way out of the Poison Bomb in time? Ooh, just not enough. And the Wizard Tower adding insult to injury. So Vanguard who just came in with a nice big defense, this multi and the scatter shot and triple Wizard Tower combination is getting knocked out down as well here.
Yeah, this one's looking like it's just going to be the 2-star. Queen is still up, but has almost no health and no ability, so she won't get much more after she gets the platform, as the multi will help take her down. Has the few cleanup and is going to be trying to approach the 90%. Looks like it'll just be an 89 with that Archer and Headhunters. Oh, if they get those two buildings, we do break into the 90s, so they will have the lead. They're up by a 2.3, 2 point with one more. Come on, Archer, and there it is. 2.5% advantage right now here in this match, as it's all tied up on stars.
Yeah, so they are skimming by for now. Really thought we were going to get to see something mighty close, mighty impressive, but it's still some opportunity to turn this around. Pressure's on, 11-11. One more attack remaining from each side, and we'll have to wait and see if Indonesia can hold a strong enough defense. But they need to start with the 3-star first.
Yeah, they do, and that's what they're focused on.
3-star and a defense is what would do it.
3-star and a dream. Can they do it? Right? They're going for it all, trying to get towards the semifinals. Right? They're focused on this, but their opponent would be the Queen Walkers. That would be waiting for them as they advance. And if you guys are just tuning in, what an end to the Queen Walkers war. Oh my goodness, that was a wild one with that. Not to spoil anything, but I mean, you have to go watch that if you haven't seen it, if you want to rewatch the VOD, because the last attack completely changed everything. And it went up, or the second to last attack, and that was the final attacker for the Queen Walkers. But for this one here, we're coming into the final set of attacks. 2 left, and we've got Riki Coco coming in with the Super Dragons. With that blimp, are we going to see the blimp go in for the Town Hall with maybe sneakies? Or he's going to just look to use a raged up... Well, no, never mind. He's got triple clone. I just noticed. So he's going to triple clone probably a balloon blimp. Yeah. Wow.
This is a long line drive to get there, though. I mean, the timing of that Warden ability, he's got to care. Whoa, he's going right in the core. He's cloning at the core of the base, getting a huge spread out. He's got the E-Drag there. Oh my goodness. The cleanup we have coming in is going to open up the path. And now the heroes can actually set course and work their way through. queen hasn't taken on too much damage. The super drags are helping her out. The king is there. This is a lovely, lovely plan that we're getting to see coming through.
With that, Heroes pathing their way to the down hall, still has the Raw Champion, has the abilities. The RC's now being used into the Tassel farm. Raising that enemy queen, didn't miss a builder, but the Super Dragons are going to help clear the queen with ease. The Tassel farm has some skeletons in there, so that's going to force the RC ability to skip across. That scatter shot is going to be doing some work. He's got one freeze. He realizes that RC's going to die, so he's going to save out of the free spells. The queen is pathing her way around. The Super Dragons are going to take some shots, and he can freeze this scatter shot now for the Super Dragon. Yep, he freezes to protect. So the Super Dragon takes it out, and we've got a 3-star from Indonesia, which means that Vanguard Gaming must triple to win this war right here.
Oh, this puts the pressure on, and we've seen teams crumbling under the pressure today. I mean, you mentioned it. If you did not see the Queen Walkers match against Mini Brothers, that is one for the books. Even if you watched it, watch it again. I'm going to go back and watch that one because it was so exciting. But all the wars today, we have seen so many highs, so many lows, and coming very, very close. And this one's still in it. Pressure remains on Vanguard to produce. That's one nice thing about coming in with that lead position is you can force the pressure on your opponent in the end. And that's where we see which players are make it or break it. So we wait patiently now to find out who will be facing off against the Queen Walkers tomorrow in the matches. But I have to remind you, we unfortunately will not see VN Tompanai, who got knocked out. Man, that was just absolutely crazy what we saw earlier today. A perfect war coming up against them from Cutie Fan, and a near perfect war as well that we had following that. Again, we're not blaming anyone on the jinx. Just one building away from perfection.
That's it.
That's it. That's all.
Perfect war. Then a 14-star 99% war there, and they're going to be facing each other. Queen Walkers are waiting the winner of this one, so either they're going to be taking on Vanguard Gaming if they triple here, or they'll be taking on Indonesia if we see a fail and not that 3-star. Because remember, this is the first week of the qualifiers of the competition. There's 3 weeks, and then as you win first, second, third, you get points, right? First place, you get the most points. And as you add those up over the 3 weeks of competition, then the top 4 teams will then move into the playoffs. And the beautiful thing about the playoffs this time is the teams that will try to make it into the playoffs, so the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, then they won't be necessarily pushed to the playoffs. They will have a play-in stage, and they get to pick their opponent from the double elimination bracket in the Last Chance qualifiers. So it's a whole new system for the Last Chance qualifiers, which is absolutely amazing. But the question is now, can Jonas be the doctor and dissect and take this base apart and try to advance them to the semifinals with this triple? If he doesn't do that, they're going home.
Oh, they would be. And what I'm wondering is if the doctor ordered a 3-star. So that's what we're waiting to find out. So we've got the Flame Flinger, and again, we see these Flame Flingers used. Less fear of going in against those mortars, using things to help distract. But he's got to get to the scatter shot. And is he? Where's that queen going? Where?
Was he planning for her to go into the town hall?
I believe so.
Like that.
And she's going for a walk here, Carbon.
She is. She is indeed walking around. We've got the king. He's going up towards the top side. And we got a minion coming in for some of these lava pups. But he needs that queen to come back around. And she doesn't want to do that at the moment. And we got the king ability going off. And he's going to run his way to the top. RC's ability skips across, helps grab that multi. The sweeper into the core of the base. Remember, keep an eye. Oh, She was
Nice.
going around. She came around anyway, so he didn't need that invisibility spell. Because he cleared the top side, Queen came back around because of the pathing. So that was clutch for Jonas.
Yeah, we've got the Queen with her ability still intact despite this. Needs to get this Lalo working through. Pops that early Warden ability, carrying the loons across. We've got 2 freezes for the back end here. We've got the air defense and the wizard tower, but the distractionary loons help out. Keep the main path working along. You worried about that multi-carbon. He's already burned through the ability, but he's got this extra freeze. He needs to drop it. And we hold off the defending Queen that is looking to pick things off. That multi-carbon.
The Queen. That defending Queen. His Queen stays alive. But she's going to go down now. Ground skeletons pop. Wait. Warden. No way. Queen saves the day. It's the defense.
Dr. Jonas did not come in with the right prescription, unfortunately.
Wow. Indonesia is going to win this match. And they knock out Vanguard Gaming. Beautiful defense right there. And wow, that Queen on defense made all the difference. What a war. And they are going to be advancing to the next round into the semifinals here in the Clash Masters. Oh my goodness, what a war we had. And you'll love to see it come down to that final attack.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, well fought war from Vanguard Gaming. And again, we talk about the pressure that comes into it. Definitely a difficult spot to be in when you know that you have to carry your team to victory 3-star. Or go home. And that is the unfortunate scenario here. But we've got an exceptional lineup of teams playing tomorrow. Of course, we're going to see Queen Walkers facing off against Indonesia. We do now know that, which is going to be a very interesting match. Seeing what we've seen from Indonesia, and also seeing some hiccups from Queen Walkers today with the 2-star from Stars and the 1-star from Yuta. But we've got Cutie Fen facing off against Vengeful Noobs. And again, that's what we were talking about. Cutie Fen coming in with a 15-star war against Van Tompenai, and it was Vengeful Noobs that had a 99.9% overall like average. They were almost there at that perfect war, but somebody could see jinx them. But yeah, I think that's going to be a really interesting matchup, seeing what they came in with today. You know, 2 great wars for tomorrow. What are you most excited to see between those 2?
I mean, between those 2, the first match of the Perfect Wars almost and the Perfect War, so that's gonna be incredible. I want to see if they can keep that kind of that momentum going. And then the last war, or the second match, which will be Queen Walkers Indonesia, that's gonna be amazing to see. Obviously, everyone loves to see Queen Walkers, but then now we get to see some different attacks coming in from Indonesia. So really, a mass Super Whiz Yetis. Maybe they bring something that's crazier as well. So I cannot wait for that. But man, what an incredible day it's been, which means that actually wraps up today. But we do come back tomorrow to finish off the semifinals, finish off the winner of this first qualifier. So you guys do not want to miss that, which is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. UTC for the Clash Masters, the Golden Edition. Oh my goodness, which is presented by Rush.gg. Incredible for the prize pool of so much money and the golden ticket at the end of the day, which will be through the 3 qualifiers and after the playoffs. So tons of prize pool. It's been an absolute pleasure to be casting with you here, Lady B. And again, thank you to the players, to the production, and everyone here today to make this possible, and especially all you watching at home. Thank you guys all again. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Do you have any final words, Lady B?
Oh, yes, indeed. Now, if you're looking to get into this, registration for the second round is open. So get registered. Make sure you get over to Clash Masters on Twitter. Get your registrations in so you can get the opportunity for the chance at some of this $50,000 prize pool and the potential of $10,000 and the golden ticket. So get in on it, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you then.